Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Bowl TV's live coverage of the 2019 QubicaAMF PWBA Players Championship from Buffalo Lanes North in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm Daniel Farish alongside Emil Williams Jr., and you are watching the final 6 games of round-robin match play at the QubicaAMF Players Championship. In 6 games, we will know our 5 finalists for the live TV stepladder finals on CBS Sports Network, airing Sunday at 4 p.m. As we've had all week, 5 different channels highlighting every single pair in competition, so you won't miss 1 minute of the action. Take a quick rundown, quick look at the standings, run them down for you. As we've seen pretty much all week, Sherry Tan and Shannon Pluhowski hold the top 2 spots. Sherry's advantage 64 pins over Shannon heading into these final 6 games. Dasha Kovalova is in 3rd place, kind of in a world of her own. She's 264 behind Pluhowski, but 131 ahead of 4th place Sydney Brummett. And this is where things start to get a little tricky. Sydney Brummett 4th at 784. Right now the final player on the show, Birgit Poplar, in 5th at plus 759. 1 pin behind her is Daria Payok. 11 pins out of the show, Liz Johnson. 20 pins out of the show, Shannon O'Keefe. 38 pins out of the show, Rocio Restrepo. That's a bit of a gap down to 10th place, Liz Culkin. 86 pins out. Danielle McEwen, 102 out in 11th. Clara, 148 out in 12th place. And when you're looking at just 6 games left, at some point you kind of draw a line in the sand realistically about, all right, this is the point in the standings where people are going to have to make some kind of otherworldly run to be in contention for the show, and that's where that gap kind of is. Elise Bolton is in 13th. She's 228 pins out of the show, and not only is she a lot of pins out, but there are a lot of players between her and 5th place. Missy Parkin in 14th, 276 out. Brianna Cote in 15th. Ashley Galante in 16th, Stephanie Johnson in 17th, and Nicole Trudel in 18th. Couple of different storylines to pay attention to here. One of them playing out right in front of us, and that is Stephanie Johnson, grabs the 10 pin. She and Brianna Cote are 2 players that there is a possibility of both players falling out of the top 16 in points after this event and missing the cut to the PWBA Tour Championships in Richmond, Virginia in a week and a half. Aaron Smith and myself sat down during the break and looked at the points and we found a lot of universes, so to speak, where Brianna's in, Stephanie's out, vice versa. There is a world that exists where Tanya Rumapur, who missed the cut to the top 18 but is currently 16th in the points, there is a world where she stays 16th in points. But there's there's a lot going on in the points, and once Emil's back on, we will try and break them down a little bit for you, kind of what we've found. But Stephanie with the front 4-9 spare, Brianna with split 3-bagger spare to open their individual matches. Trying their best to stay inside that top 16 number in the points. Good afternoon to everyone in the chat joining us for this final round of match play. Glad to have you with us. Already some strikes early on throughout the house. Nicole Trudell, front 5. Birgit Poplar, front 5. Birgit's one of those players who was on the outside looking into the points. She needs a pretty good finish this week. When I say pretty good, I mean win a match or two on TV. Pretty good to get in based on her points. But there's a lot to consider. Where Shannon Pluhowski pretty much needs a 3rd place or better finish to make the tour finals in Richmond. Despite what anyone below her in the standings does, Birgit can make the finals with a top 3 finish, but that's dependent on where Stephanie and Brianna end up. So it's, there's a lot of moving parts to this, and we won't concretely know anything until the TV show is over. We do know that is a terrible break for Shannon Pluhowski. Again, Shannon currently 2nd in the standings, just 64 behind Sherry Tan of Singapore. Sherry in her match facing Nicole Trudell. Nicole in the front 6. Sherry has been strike with 4 9 spares in a row. Welcome into the booth for the first time this afternoon, Emil Williams Jr.
My man.
After his customary snack.
Had to get that apple in, man.
I learned that lesson from you.
Apple a day. Yes, that would be my one rule, not rule, advice. I guess additional advice in regards to nutrition. Always have a few snacks with you at all times during your live streaming endeavors, because there will be times where, obviously you just need a little pick me up in between in the middle of a block. Sometimes you may or may not get a chance to eat. That does and will happen. I had every intentions on eating during that our break, but doing some other things, and all of a sudden, last minute some requests, and hey, can we do this? And well, that apple. So that apple's there. So that'll get me through this round, and then I'll be all good after that. Missed some of their early thoughts, but I'm just going to interject and say that Danielle looks very focused, especially after her struggles, essentially going from 4th to 11th. Is that where she? Yeah, 11th right now in the standings.
Yes.
She looks pretty focused, very intent, and just 102 pins back, so not terrible.
You know me, I call it like I see it.
Yeah.
And she needs to be intense because she struggled quite mightily this afternoon. I kind of would have loved to have gotten her thoughts, but I also know that sometimes a player needs to get inside, their zone, so I let her be. But just a lot of splits from Danielle. Not a lot of missed spares this morning. Just a lot of splits.
Yeah, you mentioned 8, and was it 8 in 2 games at a particular stretch?
At one stretch, she shot a 9-strike, 3-split, 2-11. Followed it up with 5 splits in a $140 effort, and then her final game had 2 splits and a missed single pin for a 170. So Danielle struggled probably very glad to get away from this morning and get started with a new block.
Oh yeah, get out the building.
Yep.
Say any, yelling and whatever you need to do. It happens. We're athletes. They're athletes.
The center console of my car has gotten a few fist beatings.
That's why you need a new car, huh? You were telling me you need a new car? Are you looking? That's why you need it. That's the real reason. Center console.
Well, the weather has really cleared up out there. Look at it.
No more.
Change that subject.
That's fun.
Nah, it's a good old Honda keeps on ticking.
Hey, man. Gotta do what you gotta do. By the way, folks, Game 2 will be joined by KT Simpson. She actually did confirm it with me. So she will be on. We'll give Valerie a pass because she is the official now Rookie of the Year. Had a nice little presentation for her prior to the start of this round. You may see a little bit of that footage on during the show, this week's show on CBS Sports Network. Congratulations to her. She joins an exclusive club. That award has been presented since 1981. Some of the names that have won it: Anne-Marie Dugan, Wendy McPherson, Carol Norman, Kim Terrell-Kearney, Liz Johnson, Kelly Kulick. Recently, of course, Jordan Richard, Daria Pio, New Wave Finn, Stephanie Johnson, just to name a few. Now 2019, Valerie Bercier. Awesome. I know Brian is very happy about that. Representing Canada.
Nicole Trudell now on the front 8. Down on lanes 31 and 32, facing off against leader Sherry Tan. Sherry now with 7 single pins in a row after an opening strike effort in the first frame. So it looks like our top 2 positions right now are going to take losses to open up the round.
One small little note in regards to Shannon Pluhowski. I talked to Rob Gottschall, who was here this week, representing Team EBI, and asked him was it more of the same game plan, which you assumed it to be, considering the success for Shannon at this point. He said yes, specifically in regards to urethane. And I know yesterday I think we were saying I noticed that she threw something different, or she threw a ball on the field. I don't remember which game, but I noticed that it just looked different. It was urethane, but it just looked different than the one that had been going down the lane. And of course, we imagined that she had 2, which prompted a discussion about how many urethanes you may carry in your bag, kind of thing. Shannon has 3, and she began this round with the stronger of the 3.
I talked to Shannon before this block started, and I asked her not so much about the left-handed, right-handed discussion, because that's kind of played out, but talking about how does your mindset change when you know you're going into kind of a strike fest out there with your opponent. And she talked about that and did kind of compare it to the left-handed, right-handed battle.
This week it's kind of helpful. We are playing the same part of the lane, doing the same type of thing. This week the fresh has been okay. Haven't held great games on the fresh, but pair to pair they've been a little more consistent probably for us. So just kind of making moves. Obviously, I know what pairs she's bowled on. She knows what pairs I've bowled on, and kind of just play between the couple different bowling balls, and that's kind of helped the success. Not trying to strike. Whenever you try to strike, it doesn't strike. So just being a little more relaxed, making sure I come all the way through it, and then giving it the best chance to strike. Keeping them on line and trying to get them to roll early, and it's kind of just been the key.
Cole Trudell leaves something in the 9th frame, looks like. Unsure of what it was.
Probably a half 7 from this angle.
was just an excellent shot from start to finish from Stephanie Johnson.
Well, if you assume 2 pins on the split effort here, Shannon will do no worse than tie Sherry this first game. Sherry can punch out from where she's at for 214. And that is a game that Danielle McEwen needed very badly. After struggling this morning, she could not come out this afternoon and continue to see what she saw this morning. And for her sake and the sake of the rest of her tournament, that 238 and that win to open up the round is huge.
Speaking of 230s and wins, we'll make it 240 now, as Clara Guerrero will get into the 240s and earn a win here at game 1. A couple of Team USA teammates on 23 and 24. Stephanie Johnson, all 3 in the 10th to finish with 223. Sydney Brummett. Two strikes and 8 to get a game 1 victory here and 30 bonus pins. Looks like maybe 275 for Nicole Trudell and Sydney Brummett. You may have heard her say good shot, catching some of our crowd microphone audio. She said good shot. Liz Johnson gets a 10-pin victory over Daria Payo to begin this round. Say hello again, as we always do. Hello to all watching in the chat. I actually had a Bowl TV viewer and subscriber come up during the break and chat with me briefly. Excellent shot there, of course. 2 great shots. One wraps at 10, one it's all 10 down. And unfortunately for Sid, 206, an early loss here in game 1. Her name was Jamie Exum. She is here. She lives in Greensboro, which is about an hour or some change away, home of North Carolina A&T, which is where Kim Kearney and her husband Eric helped coach, along with Linda Grace, helped coach the North Carolina A&T squad, bowling squad. But just wanted to say hello, and she said, always, I'm always watching and hearing, listening, etc. She said, but I just don't ever type. I just don't ever hop in the chat, but I'm here. I said, well, no worries. No worries. There is no stipulations on chat participation. That's certainly okay, but we appreciate you just watching nonetheless. But now that I know you're watching, I'm just going to shout you out from now on.
Absolutely.
So game one is in the books across the board. There's that weird, eerie silence as all the players essentially get done at the same time. Moving of the bowling balls, the nodding of heads as they continue to, go with the tunes that got them there and what they were probably listening to prior to practice. Whatever gets you amped and ready to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and as promised, our Game 2 guest has arrived. She's mic'd. She walked on the set like she was the boss. I like that very much. Please welcome KT Simpson to Bowl TV for the first time.
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well.
Good.
I'm doing well. It's been a good day so far. We got a few more games left before we determine the top 5, so obviously still a lot on the line. So I'm curious before we get into some bowling talk, but you're a rookie or were a rookie on 2019. We just saw Valley Mercier get awarded the Rookie of the Year award. So just talk about your season. How was the experience for you, your first kind of full season, and as many events obviously as you could fit in? How was things for you?
It was good. I didn't really know what to expect this year. Wasn't really sure. Didn't really have any expectations, to be honest. Just wanted to come out here and kind of see where I stood, what I need to work on. So it was a good learning experience. I just tried to embrace the learning curve as much as possible. So now I know what I need to work on for next year.
And just thinking about it, what might be some of those things that you will be working on and focusing on the off season?
Playing straight.
Okay.
There were several patterns that kind of demanded that throughout the year. And those seemed to be the ones that I struggled at the most. So I tried to work on it throughout the year as much as possible, but having some off time will allow me to kind of dig into that a little bit more. So that's definitely the biggest thing.
I do feel that you have, which is good, become a pretty popular individual, at least with Bowl TV fans. And many of them have already said hello to you, by the way,
hi guys.
In the chat. Was there anything that, even though you may not have had any expectations, but is there anything that kind of stood out or maybe even surprised you, even without having any expectations about your season?
I didn't expect to make a TV show my first year, that's for sure. So that was a nice surprise. That's probably the biggest thing. Did not expect that to happen my first year. So.
What was it like?
Well, it was very nerve-wracking at first. I think the hardest thing for me was, doing things when you're told, okay, you have to bowl now, or,
Yeah, TV is kind of a different game.
Go sit down or
away
whatever.
from the bowling part, right? There's, commercials, and that's generally what it is. Bowl. Don't bowl because we're going to commercial.
Yeah.
Be ready to bowl when we come out of commercial. Shot clock is there, all that kind of stuff. How were the fans?
The fans were great. That was the coolest part, I think. You have however many fans were in the stands, but you could feel them rooting for you. And I feel like, I was definitely the underdog, so I feel like definitely there were people rooting for me, and having that support and feeling that energy coming from the fans, that was pretty cool.
8-pin for Restrepo. She is taking on Liz Johnson on 25 and 26. Missy Parkin taking on Clara Guerrero on 23 and 24. Emil Williams Jr., Daniel Farish, and Caitlin KT Simpson in the booth.
After game 1, Shannon Blahowski has dug 11 pins into Sherry Tan's lead, only trails her now by 53. Dasha still in her own little world in third place at plus 1,001. Shannon's at 1193, Sherry's at 1246. Birgit Poplar jumps to fourth at 832. Sydney Brummett fifth at 790. Liz Johnson, 1 pin out at 789. Shannon O'Keefe is 4 pins out. Daria Payok, 31 out. Liz Culkin, 53 out. And in 10th, Danielle McEwen, 65 pins out. Rocio in 11th, only 77 out. And the last player that I would categorize as having a realistic chance at jumping in is Clara in 12th. She's 101 pins out. After that, Elise Bolton, 252 out. A big move for Bree up to 14th, trying to put a little room between herself and Tanya Romaper on that points cutoff line. Bree up to 14th. Missy Park in 15th. Stephanie Johnson up 1 spot to 16th. Ashley Galante 17th. And Nicole Trudell in 18th, but a very nice 275 that game.
That's what we would expect at this point in the tournament. The continued, how do we want to describe this? I feel it's fluctuated a little, but now we're getting into this nitty-gritty part where you say, oh, 1 pin, 6 pins, 10 pins. 100 pins still can be made up.
Yeah, for sure, especially with the bonus pins. Anything can happen.
Missy Parkin still standing on the left lane of the pair to her right to bowl on the right lane on her own pair. We saw that earlier. KT, I don't know if you've noticed or been paying attention, but Missy Parkin playing very straight up about 4-5, and she's got a little drift in her approach, so she's standing on like -4. The Bowl TV viewers commented on it earlier this morning.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Nestled against the ball return and that right hip. Three, 6, 10 for Missy. All right, so I was told to ask you this, or someone asked me to ask you this. What was it like to see Blake and Adam on the TV show?
It's kind of funny. So I stepped up and I was getting ready to bowl, and then I hear the crowd. They were like, "Oh," and I was like, kind of looking around, like, "What is happening?" Like, I didn't do anything. And then I look up at the TV and I see the video was playing, and so I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." And then I kind of got caught up like watching the TV, and then I looked over at the shot clock and I was like, "Oh, I should probably go." So I mean, it was very cool though.
I feel I watched that show. I'm trying to remember which segment. Oh, was it they were at your bowling center, right? Was that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was from a while ago too. That clip was pretty old. That was when Blake was a little bit more calm when he was bowling. He gets a little too excited now.
Well, I mean, it's hard to buck the bowling excitement.
I know. I wish we all had the same excitement
Yeah.
for bowling as Blake does.
They are, but I mean, they really are awesome. First of all, you guys have done a great job, and just the way that they, kind of bring people together. Honestly,
Yeah,
within
it's
the
been
sport.
super cool.
If you have any questions for KT Simpson, please be sure to let us know in the chat, and we'll ask a few of those as this game unwinds here. Game 2 of 6. This is the final round of match play. And we'll know our 5 finalists for Sunday. The TV show is Sunday, so I'll reiterate that. 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, that's something a little bit different too this week. Is there's a day in between the end of
It's a little
match
odd
play
sometimes
and
when
into
we
the TV
throw
show.
that in.
Yeah.
Like, elite events, right? Kind of not back to back. There was a few hours in between with Fan Fest, but you got done with the round of 12, a few hours, and then you're on television.
Yeah, for sure. It was a very quick turnaround.
How did you kind of manage your time as best you could?
Well, I had to go take headshots because I didn't take headshots at the beginning of the year because I wasn't a member at the beginning. So I had to go do that, and interviews and lunch and trying to make an appearance at FanFest and hair and makeup and all kinds of stuff. So
that's what happens when you make TV.
Yeah. Well, that's what I found out. That's for sure.
That's what happens. I mean, we got to take care of you. Then people got to know who you are. So we do need your photo.
Yes. Yeah, that was important. I didn't even think about it. He was like, I need a headshot. I was like, oh yeah, probably do.
Clara has on strike 9 spare since that opening 2-8 chop. Actually took off the 8-pin in the first frame on lane 24. Meanwhile, clean with Rocio and Liz Johnson.
2-8 is not a fun spare to shoot,
I was
especially
gonna
on
say,
something like this.
What was give us some of your thoughts and what you took away from this week's pattern.
It was a little bit tricky, especially with the low volume. Kind of when it's 49 feet and or on fresh, you don't really see your ball hook too much. You want to use like a bigger ball, but with the low volume of oil, that didn't really seem to work this week. So you had to use a little bit cleaner stuff, not too much surface, otherwise it would burn up before it even got halfway down the lane. They were tricky. And of course, straighter angles were always better, which is not my A game. That's what we'll be working on.
What would you describe as your A game currently?
When there's friction.
Okay.
I like friction. That's why a couple weeks ago in Orlando there was friction, and I like it when there's friction.
Danielle has gone spare 3-bagger. Very good angle from where Missy was standing on that right lane. She was right near where Liz Johnson is on your screen.
Yeah.
Theoretically, but Liz is obviously lining up to shoot a 10. What was Danielle's first game score this round?
238.
Okay, so 238, and she has gone spare now 4-back. So we know what Danielle has to do. Were you here? You were here yesterday, right? Did you watch?
I did, yeah.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see anything or any differences, kind of what you've seen maybe today so far? I'm not sure how much you've had a chance to watch so far today. Not to put you on the spot completely, but just wondering.
It kind of looked like, just initial impression looked like people were using a little bit more surface today than the last couple blocks. Some of them, though. Not all of them. Oh. I had a couple of those this week, too.
Well, and that would explain from talking to some of the players, we know that the more the same pattern gets put out, the truer it plays and the tighter it plays typically.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of players were saying that not only was the pattern playing tighter, but they were seeing more early hook. So that would coincide with the field using more surface.
Yep.
It chews up the heads, and you've got early hook, but then you don't have down lane hook. You don't have down lane hook.
Yep.
Well, there's another example of kind of one lane really giving some fits to players. That one might have been a touch right for Clara, but a 2-pin, no 8-pin this time.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the characteristics, especially on the lower end of the house, that the right lane was usually a little bit tighter than the left lane. More notable on the lower side of the house.
It's always interesting talking to players who are, bowling a tournament like this as the days go on, multiple squads, and they talk about how the lanes change so drastically from squad to squad. And before we got started this afternoon, I thought who better to talk to than one of the greatest themselves to ever lace up and throw a bowling ball, and that's Liz Johnson. And I asked her about how she, earlier in the week, I asked her, how are you exploiting this oil pattern? Well, now it's turned into, how are you managing this pattern?
The fact that they change every block, from day to day, block to block, they just get different, they get tighter, they hook in different spots, tighter in different spots, and you just have to really keep on top of it and be aware and just try to make those changes. For this morning, I drilled the ball and seemed to help, but going into this afternoon block, 6 games, a little more on the line too, right before the end of the tournament, so it'll be a lot of, it's where it becomes that much more mental, and just gotta overcome everything and just try to make the physical shots.
LJ letting us know what's going on.
One player making some shots down on 31 and 32. Dasha Kovalova, 3-bagger, split, 5-bagger.
She's been striking, man.
She has.
She's been striking.
And she's down in her match. Ashley Galante double split, converted the split. 6 strikes after that. So a 276 to 266 match going on between those two.
Wow.
As they both step up in the 10th.
Liz looks to be kind of in a comfort zone as well. We know she can certainly play straight and up the boards. And, you know, if you give her a little right to left, then she can exploit it kind of like Missy as well. All right, a couple questions here in the chat for KT. John asks, do people recognize you, for example, in supermarket and stuff? So anybody recognize you while you just kind of been out and about so far since your TV appearance?
No.
Not yet?
No.
All right, so we'll give you 2 more.
Okay.
No, 1 more. I think 1 more.
1 more.
And then all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, shoot, it's Caitlin Simpson, KT. Chris asks, how do you feel? How do you feel about competing with Blake and Adam for popularity?
I don't really think it's a competition. Blake has like almost 10,000 followers on Instagram. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he passed me a long time ago. There's not much competition there.
And Rosalind asked 2 questions. What's your favorite ball? And do you have a favorite drilling?
That's a tough one. I'm really liking the physics, the Storm Physics right now. Didn't get to use it this week, kind of made me sad. But also the Astrophysics too, which I did get to use a little bit. Favorite drilling, I don't have one in particular. I typically like 4-inch pins, usually. Kind of somewhere in the middle.
Good questions. Be sure to pop those in the chat while we have KT for at least a few more frames. How do you feel about one more game after this?
Sure.
Okay. How do you feel about that, Dane?
I like it.
Okay.
Ashley Galante double the 10th to shut out Dasha Kovalova. Ashley going to shoot 2.
That's great.
That's a mystery score. That's 272.
How about that? Oh, it is. It's a tough fill shot.
Shannon Plahowski on a 6-bagger after strike split spare to start. She's got her match against Daria Payok in hand. Brianna Cote doing everything she can to keep herself above the bottom of the standings, which would possibly drop her out of the points cutoff for the Tour Championships in a week and a half. She's got her match against Stephanie Johnson in hand as well.
Yesterday you thought you'd be nervous when we talked about having you in the booth. You're still nervous?
No, it's pretty easy. We're just having some conversations.
That's all it is. That's all we try to do. We try to make you as comfortable as possible, get a nice conversation going, and you know, talk about mainly whatever you want to talk about. Generally, of course, bowling.
Of course.
But we talk about stuff off the links too. Earlier we talked about what shows we're binge watching right now.
Oh yeah?
You know, so what shows are you binge watching?
I am kind of late to the party, but I started Stranger Things
Okay.
not too long ago.
We should talk to Tennille about that.
Yeah, she's a big fan. Kind of late to the party on that one, but I'm in the middle of season 2, so that's the one.
I haven't seen an episode.
No?
No, I have not.
Makes 2 of us.
I'm extremely late. So as much as I talked to Tennille about it, the entire Milligan family, especially their daughter Abby, her and Jason, maybe I should give it a look at some point, so I can get my thoughts on it.
It's a little strange, as the title says, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
So do you need to be strange to watch it, you think? Like, do you need to have a certain amount of strange already?
Maybe. Maybe.
Do you have strange in you?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Don't we all a little bit in our own way?
Yeah, I'm definitely strange. If you spend enough time with me on the air, especially, I'll sing and throw out random things. If I hear something that reminds me of a movie, I'll recite the movie quote.
Yeah.
I'm that kind of person.
I like it.
And Liz Johnson stepping up 9th frame. Wow.
That's a pretty good shot. Liz doing what Liz does.
A lot of young players, you know, they talk about sometimes you got to get over that hump of bowling with players that you looked up to, idolized. Did you have any of those moments so far this season after being out here? And you bowled other events in the past, bowled the Queens, for example. So, but being out here every week, did you get any of that?
A little bit, yeah. But like you said, I've been bowling events for forever. I think I bowled my first U.S. Women's Open when I was like 15, long time ago. So kind of being around all of these girls for quite some time has helped. Like I actually bowled women's championships with Kelly a few years ago. So, but like, I don't know, now I think we're all just kind of friends, you know, so it's been pretty cool. But obviously you still idolize them. They're good at what they do.
Anything, and I'm sure there's a ton, anything that stands out from a learning perspective, from an advice perspective, that someone like a Kelly, like a Leanne, obviously, who may have passed on some advice to you?
Yeah, Leanne actually called me before the TV show in Orlando, and she was like, just breathe, you know, you just do what you've been doing all week. And Kelly kind of gave me the same kind of advice when I was being interviewed and stuff. She was like, just be you, you know? And I tried, but
it's okay.
I'm happy to have the first one under my belt
and
out of the way.
I'm guessing that you're going to have another opportunity, multiple.
I hope so. It was kind of funny. So they were asking me what my strike song wanted to be, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
That's a big moment.
I don't know. And then my friend Kayla and Lauren and Matt, they actually picked my song for me and surprised me. Who Let the Dogs Out? Yes. They picked it for me and surprised me on the show. So then they were like so excited about it and all this stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I hope I strike. Like, kind of had a little panic.
There's a little added pressure.
Yeah, I was like, oh man.
People want to hit a song.
I know.
I heard it, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Then I think I went to your bio maybe that you sent, and I was like, it's not the same song
yeah,
she wrote.
They wanted to surprise me with something, so it was fun though. The crowd was singing along with it. So.
Plus, obviously, Blake and Adam, it all went together.
Yes. Adam actually really likes that song. Sometimes he'll bark along with that song. It's kind of funny.
You may have covered this, but Dasha 266 in a losing effort to that 272 from Ashley Galante. Sherry Tan going to win this game with a 2-0, 2-teen. Looks like a 2-teen, 216 max score against Elise's max of 204. Shannon Plahowski 255 in the winning effort, so picks up another 40 pins on Sherry, which is going to bring them to within 20 of one another going into game 3. Brianna Cote, after a 6-bagger, chopped a 6-10 in the 9th, but still her match is already mathematically over. She's defeated Stephanie Johnson. Bree can punch in the 10th for 233, down on 19 and 20. And then just to our left, between Shannon O'Keefe and Sydney Brummett, assuming the 4-pin conversion from Shannon here, is a tie match going into the 10th.
And Evan, they're right on cue. Or excuse me, Daniel answers that question about Sydney and Shannon's match.
Sydney in 5th. She's 5 pins ahead of Shannon in 7th. With Liz Johnson, for now, in between the two. But not for long, because Liz is going to beat both of them, scratch and win her match.
That's so losing effort with 266. And we talked earlier. Shannon O'Keefe had a loss. Was it Shannon we were talking about? O'Keefe shot
This morning.
30, 40.
This morning, Shannon lost matches with 46, 34, and 25.
Wow.
And then Tasha loses with 266. Those do happen, obviously, from time to time. But most importantly for Dasha, she did shoot 260, and so. If you're going to lose, which you think you would, but you still got, you went plus 60 that game.
Yeah. I was watching a match earlier. I think it was Rowe and Sydney, maybe. It was like 240 to 250, something like that.
Well, what Dasha just did, I kind of compared to something we used to look at in the racing world, where if you're, let's say, a NASCAR race, and you're a driver and you're a lap down to the field, but you're a lap ahead of everybody behind you, you're in your own race. So long as you don't screw up, you're pretty much going to stay there. And that's kind of where Dash is at. She was 192 behind Shannon coming into this game, but she's 169 ahead of Birgit. So 266 in a losing effort, it does not hurt her at all. She's in her own race. She's in third. The only way it's going to change, I would say, with 4 games left is she could maybe improve her position. I don't see her falling out of third. So she's in her own race right now.
She's just kind of pacing right now.
Yeah, she's doing her thing.
That's a. When you think about it, honestly, that is a really good place to be.
Yeah.
It is.
Got to be pretty comfortable there.
You can be comfortable. You cannot be complacent.
Yep.
Well said. LJ.
Boom.
Looks like she tried something different on the fill. 238, 184. That ball look familiar to you?
Yeah, it did.
What was it?
I believe it was a physics.
Okay. I didn't know that offhand, but I do know you like that ball. You just told us.
Yes, coming out of the ball return, it definitely was a physics.
It was more of a, okay, you guys are on the same staff, so I'm
Yeah.
curious what ball that might have been.
I think Liz likes that one a lot too.
I want to say hello to everyone who may be just joining us. It looks like Tabitha joining us for the first time, perhaps all week. Hello, Tabitha. Appreciate you tuning in as always. Casey, I did drop a couple. I've been saving them, for the right time and moment. But yeah, I'm all good. What's up, Sal? Hope all is well. Again, we are in the booth with Caitlin Simpson. Which one do you prefer, or both?
Well, most people call me KT.
Okay.
But, on standings, roster, my shirt, they're all Caitlin.
Okay.
But most of the time people call me KT.
Real quick, back to the Shannon-Sydney match. Shannon punched for 224. Sydney got the first one in the 10th, stepping up for her second shot. Sydney can punch to also shoot 224. You'll see her just on the left side of your screen in about 2 seconds.
Big shot there for Sid, obviously, and would love a share of 15 bonus pins, especially where she is in the standings. Both players, in fact. But since Shannon is in the clubhouse already, she stands to benefit obviously the most. It's up to Sid to catch a share of the bonus pins. She was on 24 and threw 2 good shots. Again, one resulted in a wrap 10, the other a strike. Could have won the previous match she was in, and now in a position again, clutch position to try to tie. As we welcome Birgit Poplar and Daria Payok to 25 and 26 for game number 3. KT will hang out for game 3 as well. What's up, Larry? Nice spare for Missy Parkin. She's going to defeat Clara Guerrero. Give it a run. Give it a run. Ah. All right, Brummett over to the left. Strike to tie. Wow.
Oh.
There's been quite a few 710s this week.
Wow.
It's rough.
What's your immediate feeling when that happens to you?
Just like a big sigh. Like, oh, are you kidding? I think it was second block of qualifying. I had a decent game going. Had found some good rhythm. 710 in the 10 to shoot 2-0. I was like, well, that's not very much fun. Just try your best to bounce back from that and not let it affect the next game.
Nice shot there for Daria Payok. It has been a very good week for Daria. We've touched on Daria in regards to her struggles this season and what she's gone through, and even to the point where she took a week off just to kind of mentally reset. She also represented the PWBA at the Watkins Glen NASCAR race, if I recall correctly, with Kyle Troop. He was representing the PBA. So a little bit of, a lot of different things going on for Daria this year. However, a very good week could be great if she can find a way to get in this top 5 at the end of this day. Nicely done, early double. Are there players that you look at maybe even before you came on tour and you said, wow, this player is throws it great, or this player has something that I'd like to add to my game? Are there players like that where you said, I'll take a look, maybe study and see if I can translate or have something to translate into my own game?
Well, we talked a little bit about how I need to work on my straighter game a little bit, and Danielle is amazing at that. So Danielle, Liz, they're all really good at it. So them for sure when it comes to playing straight. And just in general, I mean, they're both phenomenal players.
So originally from Emmett, Idaho. Is that correct?
Yes.
How did you get to Pikeville, Kentucky?
Well, I had a friend that went to Pikeville that was from Idaho.
Okay.
He went there first. Actually, 2 people from Idaho went there first. And so that's kind of how I went. I went to Pikeville when I was only 17, so I liked the fact that I knew somebody going there since I was literally moving completely across the country. So that's kind of what sealed it, but Ron Dameron was the coach when I was there, and he just made me feel really welcomed and right at home, so it just seemed like a good fit for me.
Well, I think it worked out for the most part.
Yeah, I was there for 7 years.
Including grad school, right?
Including grad school, yes.
7 long, hard years.
Yes. Yep.
And your degrees are in what?
I have a bachelor's in accounting and a master's in business management.
Okay. So when you're not on tour, how might you use those degrees, maybe for future endeavors or whatever it might be? What might be some additional goals off the link?
Well, when I go home, I should probably find a job. I hear those are handy. So I will be looking for a job, hopefully a job that will allow me to continue to compete on tour next year.
I hope so too. Please tell them what you do.
I know, I hope.
You're really good at it.
Thank you. That is the goal. So hopefully we can get something worked out. I worked at H&R Block in Pikeville for a couple years, just doing taxes. So maybe something like that where it's kind of seasonal in our off season.
Right.
Might be cool.
Well, you can never have enough individuals in your life who can do taxes. Like honestly.
Yep.
Daria for 3 in a row. And a 2-8.
I'd be careful about making that public, though, because the minute that the tour finds out that you do that, you're going to have every female player out here.
I know.
Like, calling you, hey, here are my receipts. Here's my deductions.
Hey, just got to charge them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just charge them. Nothing in this world's free anymore.
You know.
If you are just joining us, this is Game 3 of 6. PWBA Players Championship, sponsored by QubicaAMF. Emil Williams Jr. with KT Simpson, also known as Caitlin Simpson, recently appeared on the BowlerX.com PWBA Orlando Open TV show, finished 5th. And then, by the way, we're Daniel Ferris too. Don't want to just leave my guy just out and about. That would be rude and mean. Daria makes the 2-8. The next day, KT goes out and just they're getting it done, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So modest. I'll ask Daniel about this. I saw some posts, but Daniel was there. So what did you see from KT?
What I remember was she was bouncing right around the top 4 cut most of the day. And going into the last game, we had, I think, 3 or 4 players we were kind of following, and she was the last one done. And I think you told me you didn't know the situation
I knew I needed as many as possible.
Exactly, and she steps up in the 10th, needed all 3 in the 10th to earn the 4th and final spot on the Bowl TV Finals stepladder, and just flushed all 3 of them to get the spot by 1 pin, and then ran the stepladder and defeated fellow Pikeville alumni Kayla Bandy to earn her first regional title.
How does that make you feel?
Well, Kayla bowled great all day, and it's always hard having to bowl
Sure.
against a friend, but she bowled phenomenal, and I just knew I was going to have to bowl well because she had a great look. So hats off to Kayla.
Kayla bowled well that weekend.
She did, yeah.
In the regional showdown also.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool. It was a good weekend for me. So.
Update after game 2, Sherry Tan's lead over Shannon Plahowski now only 14 pins.
Wow.
Dasha still remains in a world of her own. 211 behind Shannon, 210 up on Liz Johnson in 4th. Shannon O'Keefe is in 5th at plus 840. And then the gap from the cut down to the rest of the field has widened a little bit. Birgit Poplar 23 pins out. Sydney Brummett 28 out. Daria Payok 42 pins. Danielle McEwen in 9th is 49 pins. A drop down to Liz Culkin in 10th, 93 pins out. Rowe in 11th, 143 out. Clara in 12th, 168 out. And the rest of the standings in order: Elise Bolton, Ashley Galante, Brianna Cote in 15th. Missy Parkin, Stephanie Johnson, and Nicole Trudell round out this 18-player field.
Again, the additional significance specifically for Shannon Plahowski is, to our knowledge, was it a 7-10? Did we miss it? Elise Bolton just picked up some form of split. Down on, what's that, 30, 31, and 32?
4-6.
4-6.
Wow.
Wow. Might have to give the old highlight. Oh, she turned her back on it. Wow.
She turned her back on it. Oh.
Turned her back on it. So basically, think about the 4-6. Her ball was heading straight toward the 10-pin as if it was going to take the 10-pin off a full rack. It grazes the 6-pin, and the 6-pin kind of just lazily falls over into the 4. Literally the way you would draw it up in your mind on how to make that.
That is the second time we've seen that. You and I saw, I forget who it was, shooting a big 4 on our featured pair. And they took the 6 over into the ball, obviously hit the 10, knocked the 6 over into the 4, but the 7 unfortunately still
I
stood.
think that was Ashley Galante, because I bowled with her during qualifying. I think it was
Sounds
Ashley.
about right.
I think it was Ashley. It's like
Kate.
Elise Greek Church down there, so maybe she can pick this one too.
Wow.
Well, let's watch. No. 6-9-10 leaves the 4-7.
4-pin there for Shannon O'Keefe. What's the, John asks, what's the correct answer to every tax question?
Is there a correct answer
That sounds,
to
I was
every
gonna say, that
text
sounds
question?
tricky. Sounds like it could get you in trouble.
Yeah, I don't think I want to answer that one.
Itemize?
Yeah,
that would
it's kind of funny.
my
'cause
guess.
It's really hard to itemize now because the standard deduction went up. I don't want to get into too much about it, but
Well, that's okay. I'm going to ask you off air. I'm going to ask you
Oh,
off
great.
the air and see what's going on with the taxes these days. Again, Caitlin Simpson in the booth with us. To get back to the point on Shannon Plahowski, we believe, based on math, that Shannon not only needs to make the show, but finish no lower than 3rd to ensure a spot, or clinch a spot, I should say, in the Tour Championship. That sound right, Dan?
Yes, obviously if anyone who wins is in.
Correct.
If Shannon finishes 2nd, no matter what else happens, she's in. For most instances, a 3rd place finish will get her in. And there is even one universe in this galaxy, or one galaxy in this universe, where if she finishes 4th, she could get in, but a lot of weird things would have to happen. So really, to simplify it, a top 3 finish gets Shannon into the tour finals in a week and a half.
And even to the point of player of the year, there's still some intrigue left in that as well, because all 3 are bowling. Well, I should say 2, and that's, of course, Shannon O'Keefe, number 1, Danielle McEwen, number 2. But there is a possibility that Dasha Kovalova potentially could spoil the party in that sense as well. And again, things have to go right and fall in line, but my man will further elaborate.
Yeah, just to give you all an idea, this would be, of course, coming in, Shannon O'Keefe has roughly a 12,000 point lead on Danielle, and then, or excuse me, a 13,500 point lead on Danielle, and Danielle's up about 11,500 on Dasha. So looking at the points and how they work. Let's say Danielle stays where she's at right now. Let's say she's in 9th. Let's say she finishes 10th. She doesn't make up any ground. She would get 9,500. Let's say Dasha wins the whole thing. It's 25,000. And let's just give Shannon, doesn't make TV, 6th place finish. All of a sudden, you've got Dasha pulling ahead of Danielle and only about 11,000 behind Shannon.
Which potentially, I'm not sure of the points available at the Tour Championship. But for a minimum 3rd place finish, and then if you win, of course, I don't know if that would be enough, or if there would be enough points still remaining, perhaps, to overcome, but I think there might be. But now we're getting way, way into
more than likely, Shannon's going to be the overall number 1 seed. So for Dasha to win Player of the Year, she would have to win today, or win Sunday. And then Shannon O'Keefe would have to finish outside the top 10 this week, outside the top 12, and then Dasha would have to win the tour finals, and Shannon would have to lose her 1st round match. It's a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, it's mathematically
still mathematically possible. Anything can still
and
go.
not with where they're at in the standings, it's not crazy. But Shannon O'Keefe would have to drop quite a few spots from where she's at right now.
Looks like Sid's ran into a couple splits down there on 19.
Yes, she has. Make that 3 splits.
And Sherry's on a string of strikes down there.
Oh, she feels Shannon Pluhowski. It's like she's too close to me in the standings. I've got to turn it on here.
Sherry's fit to shoot 290 this game. She's going to spare 8-bagger. And Shannon P, best she can do is 248, just off to our right.
Oh.
And Sydney Brummett, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10 conversion.
The split making has been really, really spectacular.
It has.
This week. Across the board, seen multiple players make multiple designs.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Well, there was that 3-frame stretch yesterday. Daria makes the 2-4-10, the 4-9, and then the 4-7-10.
Back to back to back.
Yes.
Speaking of Daria, she's got her hands full this game with Birgit Poplar at 6 in a row. Four-pin attempt for Daria is clean here. We've got KT in the booth for another few frames, so any additional questions that you may have as a viewer, you've got a real live professional bowler here in the booth.
It's weird to hear you say that.
Well, the moment you hit the button on that membership. I know you mentioned at the Queens, I can't remember which event it was, but I realized that you didn't have a bio, and we chatted about it, and I said, give it a day or two, because it's simple, but sometimes some questions
Yeah, kind of.
not as easy as we. But I know you mentioned that you had bowled the USBC Women's Championship, so you were delaying becoming a professional for the team, and you know, can't have multiple, or forgot the number of PWA members on the team.
Yeah, you can only have one.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, that was the main reason I waited to get my card until after Women's Championships, right before Queens, so I could bowl one last time with the team that I had been bowling with the last couple of years.
What's the schedule potentially look like for you? I know you, from a work perspective, you know, going home and trying to get a job, but from a bowling perspective, anything in the works? Anything you're thinking about bowling before 2019 is out?
Well, being in Idaho, there's not a ton out there,
Okay.
so maybe something in Vegas will pop up, or something that's not too far away. Nothing on the radar right now, but we'll see if we can maybe sneak a couple in before the end of the year.
Hey, Jim and May from your gets. Interesting question from Jim in regards to what's your thumb pitch and how did you determine what was best for you?
I am 3/8 forward in my thumb, which is kind of a lot, usually more than the typical person likes. I'm kind of double jointed in my thumb, so I need to stay in it a little bit longer than someone else. I changed it a few years ago, just kind of when dealing with thumb pitch, you just kind of go a little bit at a time. So I had a couple test balls, and we would just gradually increase it. I could probably go a little bit more, to be honest, but this is what feels comfortable right now.
A little more forward?
Yeah, a little
Wow.
more forward, yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
Weeks in there from Poplar. Daniel, you've been in the pro shop for almost all of your life.
Yes.
With your father owning a pro shop. Any what's the, I won't say odd, but I mean maybe wide ranging from a pitch measurement that you've heard or maybe even seen?
I know a few guys that we have that we drill for that their grip pressure is just insane. I mean, these guys have hands that are like bear claws,
Oh, wow.
and they don't know how to. That's force.
4-6-10 from Sydney.
Wow.
I think if I saw that right.
We'll
4-6-10.
have to do a little digging, but we might have to go back this week and just watch a lot of video
4-6-10, right?
and just put together all of the split conversions that we've seen
The 10 came out of the back.
across all 5 channels. It'll be a lot of work for us, but
But there's quite a few of
it
them.
might be worth getting a few
Yeah.
together. All right, to your point.
But we've got a few guys that have hands like bear claws. They don't know how to adjust their grip pressure, so they're always just 110%, just squeezing the heck out of the ball, and they've got quite a bit of reverse in their thumb, which, for those of you that are listening, if you imagine a thumb hole, forward means the thumb hole's pitched towards the center of the grip, and then reverse is pitched away from the center of the grip. So their thumb hole is actually pitched away because we need to get the ball off their hand because they won't let go of it. We need to basically make an inanimate object let go of them because they won't let go of it.
Right, you're essentially trying to make the ball do it for them.
Yeah.
Essentially fall off their hand. And I need the exact opposite.
To our right, Rocio Restrepo does enough. She shoots 248. It's a big win for Ro, especially at this point in the ball game. 248, she's going to defeat Shannon Pluhowski. And one more, and Shannon will be in the 230s.
289 for Sherry Tan.
Wow.
And there you have it. So, did she win?
Yeah.
I think that's fair to ask.
That is a fair question to ask.
That one looks left from Pyoke, and it is 36910.
Back to the fit thing a little bit. I actually had to change my fit halfway through the year because I was ripping open my finger.
Okay.
So I had to change my fit after the U.S. Open before the Lucy doubles. And we're still not quite there. We're going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. I fixed ripping where I was ripping, started ripping in a new spot. So we're close, but still got some work to do.
This is good stuff here. Good talk from KT about, you know, fit. We've had some convos, not me and you, but just with players about, you know, fits, and sometimes open frame for Payok, and this one doesn't end the way she would have liked here. 182, and Birgit is going to get the win. You know, sometimes things just happen, and I feel like for players at this level, if you feel something's not right, the likelihood to trying to figure it out is much quicker than perhaps, you know, I'll just use myself as an example where, you know, I'm not in tune like that. So if something doesn't feel right, I'm probably thinking, I haven't bowled in, you know, God knows when. I'll probably be okay. And then I'll just keep hurting instead of trying to make a change. Does that sound accurate? You guys quick to try to figure it out?
Yeah, as quick as possible. I was actually ripping, I think the first one was in one of the California stops, or maybe the Tucson stop, and it was pretty bad, but I mean, only had days in between stops, and my situation was a little bit unique. I didn't go home in between stops. We were driving to everything, so I didn't have the opportunity to do a quick change, so I just kind of had to power through it. And then when I did get to go home is when I finally was able to fix it. But again, didn't have a ton of time to mess with it as much as I probably normally would have. So
after back-to-back 230 wins to start the day, Danielle McEwen has 4 splits this game. She's going to shoot 153 in a losing effort to Liz Johnson.
Wow. I feel that lane, or that pair, I feel she had although she had a few tough games in the previous round, but I feel like that pair hasn't been very nice to her. All right, Birgit came in chasing the PWBA Tour Championship event down in the points, and obviously continues to make a case and make a run for herself to earn a spot as well. Shot for Cote.
Shannon O'Keefe stepping up here in the 9th with a chance to shut out Bree. Shannon can strike in the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and then knock down 6 pins in the fill. She will shut out Bree. And something that Shannon and I talked about before she got bowling this afternoon was the fact that, and you mentioned it last game, that she lost 3 matches this morning with games of 240, 230, 220. And I asked her, I said, really, you know, how does a player deal with that kind of, I guess, emotion? You shoot a great game like that you expect to win, and you don't.
I'm not going to lie, it is frustrating. I've won 4 matches, and I've knocked down a lot of pins, probably knocked down more pins than almost everybody bowling outside of the lefties. And I can't win a match. The same thing happened at the U.S. Open. I was 12-12, and I'm not going to lie, it's frustrating. But again, like, I'm proud of how I'm competing. I can't control what my opponents are doing. If they want to show up and bowl their best game against me, then that's the hand that I'm dealt, and I just have to keep moving forward and focus on what I'm doing and not what other people are doing. So I'm just going to try to stay in my own little zone and bowl 6 games that I can be proud of and walk out of here no matter what and be proud of that.
And she kicks the 10 out. And trying to shut out Brianna Cote here. One more to help that cause. Good audio there. It is frustrating. Have you been take me to a quick match play scenario where you've felt like you bowled well enough to win matches, but it just didn't work out? That sound
I haven't
familiar?
really bowled match play a ton recently.
Any youth events that kind of stand out in that sense?
Teen Masters, forever ago. That tended to happen to me a couple times where I felt like I bowled pretty good. My opponents got kind of a couple lucky breaks and outscored me. It's definitely frustrating, but like Shannon said in her little clip, you can only control what you do, and you just kind of have to bowl the best game you can and hope that it's enough.
6, if my math is correct, would be enough here to make sure she shuts out Brianna Cote. One final question before we let KT go back to being just a professional bowler, not a professional bowler on Bowl TV today. All right, what do you do before practice starts, before warm-up starts to get loose, and that's enough for an O'Keefe victory. Let's see, or do you just get loose during practice time? Then during practice, what do you look for? Okay, so 3 questions, kind of 1.5. What do you do to practice or before practice to start to get loose? How do you warm up in that sense?
Before practice.
Before practice.
I try to stretch a little bit. I don't do a ton of stretching, but certain areas, make sure my legs are under me and feeling somewhat strong that I can use them. That's another thing that I've been working on. Use your legs more. Stretching the wrist out, shoulder a little bit. I actually had a rib out earlier in the week, so the chiropractor that was here actually put my rib back in, so I could actually breathe better. So that was good.
You waited till right now to say that?
Yeah. It was rough. It was like pushing into my shoulder blade, making my shoulder hurt. Like, it was rough.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, stretching my shoulder out because it was a little sore after being so kind of out of place, I guess.
Sure.
So some stretching is definitely good to kind of get your muscles a little bit prepped for what you're about to do. And what was the second question?
The second question is, or do you just get loose during practice time? Imagine if you don't do anything prior to practice, do you kind of do while you're bowling?
The first couple shots in practice, I don't go full speed. I kind of just kind of slowly walk up to the line, get it off my hand kind of thing. I don't go full speed for probably the first at least 3 shots. I think that's kind of typical out here, just kind of get the motions going first.
Then during practice, maybe what are you looking for to help you get lined up?
I'm looking for friction. Where is my ball hooking? Where is it going to read? Or where is it not hooking? You know, where's my out of bounds? That's what I look for. If I'm not seeing what I want, then I'll try a different ball. Maybe go up, go down, see in ball covers, and see what looks best. But I'm looking for friction.
217-189. O'Keefe defeats Cote, and our time has come to an end with KT Simpson. Before we let you go, though, so let me just follow up on this rib situation. So, did you have a previous injury in the past that?
No, it was kind of weird. A couple days ago, I was like laying on the floor, probably playing with Blake and Adam, and I was like, "Mom, my rib kind of hurts. It kind of feels like I have a rib out." I don't know how to get it to go back in.
How do you know the rib was out?
That's what I want to know.
I was laying on the floor, so I was laying on like a hard
Just didn't
surface,
feel.
and I was like, "Wow!" Like I felt like I couldn't lay flat.
Okay.
Like it was like something was like stabbing me or something. So I was like, I think I have a rib out, but I don't know how to get it to go back in. Like
That sounds painful.
so, kind of didn't really think anything more of it. And then with the chiropractor here that we had,
Sure.
Dr.
Asklund.
Yes. He was adjusting my back, and he was like, you have a rib out. And I was like, I thought I did. He was like, can you even breathe? I was like, I mean, yeah, but as soon as he put it back in, I was like, wow, I can breathe better now, like already. It was painful though, like the pop that happened when he put that back in, it was so loud. There were girls in the paddock that were like, are you okay over there? It was rough.
Wow. Of all
I don't
the
recommend
things,
it. I don't recommend it.
I'm now going to take away from this event. So, Elise Bolton, if you knew this, but she had a tailbone injury. Her tailbone was out.
Really?
Like a couple weeks ago, prior to Orlando. She bowled the regional showdown, so she was working on that. Huh. And now you tell us that you had a rib out.
Yeah, and so I went camping a few days before, like for Labor Day weekend before we left, and so I don't know if that had something to do with it. Maybe I did something that.
Was it full camping, like you put the tent out and?
No, we were in a camper.
Okay, in your camper, right? Parents?
Actually, no. So we had to take our camper to the shop.
Blown tire.
Blown tire.
I talked to your mom about that.
Yeah, blown tire. So our camper was in the shop, so we actually had to borrow my uncle's.
Wow.
But I mean, the beds in the camper still are not great. So I don't know if it was that or what, but yeah, definitely had a rib out, but it's all back in and we're good now. So.
Any final thoughts, questions for KT Daniel Ferris?
No. It's been a pleasure watching you bowl the last couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring to us in the future.
Thank you. I
Got
appreciate it.
All right, that is KT Simpson, ladies and gentlemen. Please follow her. Where can they follow you on social media?
Instagram. I think it's at KT Simpson, at Caitlin Simpson 832.
Okay. Any other?
Twitter.
Okay.
At KT Simpson 2. Facebook. I don't have a fan page, just my normal page.
But you will.
But I will.
Okay.
Yep.
And where can they follow Blake and Adam?
Instagram at Blake the Bowling Doodle, and Adam's Instagram is at Adam the Bowling Doodle, and they have a Facebook page, Blake and Adam the Bowling Doodles.
Awesome. Well, best of luck the rest of the season, whatever you may decide to bowl this year, and I'm sure we'll chat at some point soon.
Cool. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, that is KT Simpson, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a small pause. Game 4 is underway. Elise Bolton taking on Danielle McEwen, Dasha Kovalova, and Sydney Brummett next on Bowl TV. Game 4 underway here. Is it game 4? It is game 4. Again, Elise Bolton taking on Danielle McEwen, and Sydney Brummett and Dasha Kovalova. here on Bowl TV. Bill Williams Jr., Daniel Ferris. Big thanks to KT Simpson, who joined us for 2 games. Pretty enlightening conversation, I would say, but really look forward to seeing how her career unfolds, blossoms. Excellent person. Her parents are awesome too, and obviously Blake and Adam, the bowling doodles, are pretty cool as well. Shout out to the Franklins, Jeannie and Anthony. Of course, if you haven't listened to, shame on you, the Out of Range podcast, hosted by Anthony Franklin, also known as, or perhaps better known as, Tony Franklin. Anthony actually really just threw me off now that I say that. Tony Franklin. Here on Bowl TV, Tony and the Out of Range crew with Matt McFadden and Derek Hartnell. They can find that in the Backstage channel. Backstage, the Out of Range podcast, has its own playlist. It is pretty funny. They actually even had me on. Could you imagine that? For a little bit at Junior Gold, during our Junior Gold trade show, Junior Gold live show. So be sure to check them out, give them some listens and some watches. They do great work. They spend a lot of time on it, of course, as we all do. So give them a listen and let us know. Maybe even want to hear a topic or discussion. They come with it too. They are very prepared. They got various topics. All of them are funny. Matt does some serious impersonations, by the way. So if you're intrigued by all of that, be sure to check out the Out of Range podcast on Bowl TV. Speaking of doing a lot of great work, please welcome to the booth. This last name might throw you all off if you are into bowling at all. But please welcome Curtis Von Kruger.
Hello.
To the Bowl TV booth.
How is it going, guys? It's here at the Players Championship, a lot of exciting bowling. It couldn't be much better than this right now.
Indeed. I wanted to get you on for a minute, and we've got some scores to update as well. So we'll let Daniel update us first, and then we'll talk about your first-year experience on the PWBA. Daniel?
Sherry's lead has grown back to north of 100 over Shannon after shooting 289 in that game and winning. Sherry Tan now plus 1411, Shannon plus 1305, Dasha plus 1040, Birgit Poplar 894, and Shannon O'Keefe in the 5th and final spot for the TV finals on Sunday at 887. Liz Johnson only 8 pins behind Shannon, and then Sydney Brummett 51 pins out, Liz Culkin 84 out, Daria Payok 107 out, and Rocio Restrepo in 10th 112 out. After that, Danielle McEwen 143 back, Clara Guerrero 222 back, and then you've got Missy Parkin, Elise Bolton, Ashley Galate, your top 15, and Brianna Cote, Stephanie Johnson, and Nicole Trudell 16, 17, and 18.
Wow, it got congested up there, but now it's kind of cliffed in that top 3. Obviously, there's not going to be much movement there, but man, you still got a lot of great bowlers that are in position, even down to Rocio and Danielle, although she struggled today. A lot of exciting bowling, and as it should be for a major, as it should be.
Well, and the biggest thing that I'm watching, that something we will see settled, could be settled right now, is Brianna Cote down in 16th. If she finishes 17th or 18th, she will not make the tour finals in Richmond.
Oh, wow.
Now, she has a 73-pin lead over Stephanie Johnson in 17th, but those two are kind of going back and forth for that final spot, but there are a lot of variables to be considered. It'd be take way too much time to go through them all. We've kind of given the viewers the basics of it, but we'll know more once match play is over.
Man, I'm really looking to the forward to the Tour Championship. Kind of a reward for a great season in such an incredible environment, and it's just so appropriate to cap the season off in such a magical way, in such a big-time environment. And I'll tell you what, to go back to your question, Emil, this is my first season out on the PWBA Tour, and I couldn't have been more thrilled, more elated, more impressed than I have been kind of working through the season and what that means, to myself and kind of how I've perceived bowling. As you may know, I've been around the block a time or two with bowling in my day.
Let me just interject real quick. For those who don't know, Curtis's father, Kirk, what's his official title?
He is
PBA?
the Deputy Commissioner of the Professional Bowlers Association. Most people know him as the long-running tournament director. He's been the tournament director for about 25 years now. So, I traveled out on the tour with him in the early 90s, mid 90s, in tents in a trailer. Like, we literally packed up all of our belongings and toured the country in tents. And so, from a very young age, I've been exposed to the greatest bowlers that have ever bowled, and so my experience has always been on the men's tour. And of course, as we know, the PWBA tour folded in 2003. So when I started coming back out here and I was approached with the opportunity to come out here and kind of work with you guys for Bowl TV, I jumped on the opportunity. And didn't know what to expect, but I'll tell you what, these ladies are great. And I don't think they get enough credit for how good they are. And I've seen a lot of major differences. And, there's some similarities, but the culture, the environment, the competitive edge, everything like this is so intense out here. And it's just been a really great treat to watch and kind of immerse myself in this culture. It's been fantastic.
It certainly has been a pleasure to have you. We saw each other at the Masters.
Yes.
For the first time, and I knew you were going to be on the road with us, and so we just had a brief chat, and then, as we led up to it, just throwing some ideas out there here and there, and then. You get a quick sense of how people want to work, the way they work, and what they do. Just want to say that you, and I've told you this obviously, but said it on the air. Your work, you've added a very nice, value to what we're doing here at Bowl TV, and people notice it. People ask me about stuff all the time about our videos, and they look great, and. People seeing the differences from, kind of start to, where we are now, essentially. And, you've had a lot to do with that. I want to give a shout out to Jason McEwen, who's worked with us in the past as well. So, but thank you for all of your hard work.
Well, I really appreciate that. But, it's such a team effort. Nothing out here, as you know, gets done by yourself. You got to wear a lot of hats out on the tour, So you have your hand in a lot of different things, and I've appreciated as a creator, I appreciate the opportunity to have a lot of creative freedom with what I do. Nobody, you have to follow some guidelines, but for the most part, I've been kind of left to my own devices, and it's been great. And the ladies have been gracious and entertaining and engaging, and. So it's really easy to make good content, So it's just I'm thankful. I can't be any more thankful, and to finally be out on the PWBA tour after 25 years out on out on and off in bowling. It definitely. I'm glad they're back, and I think big things are definitely to come here for the ladies.
Has there been anything that surprised you so far from what you've seen, just from the tournament perspective this week?
From this specific week?
Uh-huh.
I think the way that the ladies have been attacking the lanes has kind of surprised me. There's several different angles that you can play, and just the execution and just watching each bowler go about things in their own way. You have people like Daria or Sydney that you just shot out there really playing the outside line, trying to get right. And then you look at people like Birgit, you know, and others that have kind of moved in and kind of transgressed inside. So. Progressed inside, so that's been really surprising to me. But another thing is bowlers who have things to bowl for. You know, you look at a Shannon Pluhowski, for example. She was on the outside looking in, and we just I think we just put a video out there on her on Facebook, so go check that out, some of the comments she had. And she knew she had to come in here and really put on a show and bowl for her spot in that tour championship, and to come out and just, she looks relaxed and she looks, you know, engaged, and so that's been really impressive to me. And so it's, but that's just what you start to expect from these ladies, you know. They bring it, they take it. One of the things I notice is when you come out and you see the beginning of the squad, the first thing you see all the ladies out on the lanes warming up. They're stretching out. They're doing calisthenics. They're trying to get their body in shape and in form to perform at its highest level. And that's something that really struck me, because while you do have some of the men that take it like that, they're not really into that pre-round warm-up kind of thing. And so I think it's kind of a microcosm of how these ladies kind of go about their business. And it is, you know, they're here to have fun, and it's you know, a wonderful culture, and they're very gracious individuals. But when it's time to bowl, it's time to bowl. And I love that intensity. That's what you look for in a competitor, is that fire. And they have it, and that's what's been impressive to me.
D-Mac dealing with a 2-8 here on 24. And got a lead over Elise Bolton. To our left, Nicole Drudell with a 5-bagger. She is taking on Rocio Restrepo. Down on 19 and 20. Close match between Ashley Galante and Daria Payok. And let's see. Galante can strike out to get to 223. Payok can get to 227, so close match there. And of course, Sydney Brummett and Dasha Kovalova. And Daniel, how did you reference Dasha, Daniel? And we had a good convo with you and KT about where she is in the standings.
Talk about like my comparison, or just how I said, like Dasha's in her own world right now.
Correct. Yes.
She's when we were talking about that, she was 251 behind second place, but 200 up on fourth place. Now those numbers have changed a little bit since the last game stats have been put in. She's 150 up on fourth and 260 behind second, but still, with 2 games to go, she's in her own world. So, barring, you know, back-to-back 130s or just something cataclysmic, which isn't going to happen this game, she's probably going to pace in the 190s right here. She's going to stay third, and it's a really comfortable place to be in, because you don't have to push to try and catch the person in front of you, because you know you're probably not going to. But then, if you have a couple of open frames where you make some mistakes, you don't start to, you know, feel that pressure that, oh man, you know, fourth place is going to catch me, because they're not. Because right now, 4th, 5th, and 6th, they're 4th through 8th have been too concerned with each other.
Sure.
To deal with, to worry about Dasha up there.
Well, she can max out at 203, and right now this is Sydney Brummett's show.
Yeah, Sydney really needs this. She's kind of had a yo-yo roller coaster kind of a match play around here. Nice, good light hit there by Sydney. But, you know, she started off, you know, way down in the pack, way down in the standings. Had a great round of match play to start the finals off, and went 6-0 yesterday. And then came in and just didn't have it quite as effective, although she finished really strong. Actually had a really good block. So she's just trying to grind it out, and she's throwing a lot of strikes right now.
Yeah, after starting this morning 1 and 2 with games of 2-0, 2-0, buck 80, she goes 230, 250, 270, all wins.
Yeah.
And actually that 270 game was the game that she had the front 9. And I got a chance to talk to her before this block started. And I asked her one of the worst questions that a person in my position can ask a bowler in her position. And that was, were you nervous before that 10-frame shot?
Actually, no, not really. I have been going through some fit issues over the past year or so, and before this event, I actually randomly decided to start using a new thumb, and I grab it sometimes, and so I just threw it bad in the 10th. Happens.
And then we talked about how is she going to approach this final block, fighting for that final spot inside the top 5, and I really liked her answer.
It's the exact same way as the last, I think we've bowled last 30 games. Because it's like I said a couple days ago, I think match play for me is no different. It's just bowling 6 games. And I hope and pray that my score is higher than the other person's. And if it is, I get 30 more pins. If it's not, I move on and bowl the next game. And so it's not important to add more pressure to myself because pressure is made up in our minds. It doesn't have to be there. So I choose just to not let it affect me.
That is indeed well said, and quite funny.
Yeah.
Also, and to get into know Sid a little bit through her time at Wichita State and having multiple conversations out on tour, that last part when she said the way it was so funny, it was like, yeah, that's a Sid answer right there.
I've been impressed with the way that she stayed on top of her transitions. I had a conversation with her earlier in the week, and she said, well, with her ball roll, she ends up reading the transition a little earlier than a lot of bowlers. And I said, well, that can't be a bad thing. And she's like, actually, she likes it because it allows her to kind of find a fresh zone quicker and stay one step ahead of everybody. So it's really served her well, and she said she's been working on, and Danielle comes in light, leaves a 2-pin. She says she's been really working on that mental game, treating shots as if they were the most important shots in the world. And right now, she's cool and calm and executing when she needs to.
Back-to-back victories for Sydney Brummett as well. She defeats Dasha Kovalova. Last game defeated, just got by Clara Guerrero, 194 to 193. And so 60 bonus pins in the last couple of matches with 2 to go at this point before we know the top 5 here.
Sherry Tan with 2 late splits this game, going to take the loss against Brianna Cote. So Brianna picks up pins on the players below her and tries to distance herself from that 17-18 spot. And Sherry Tan gives some pins back to Shannon Wachowski. And it looks like Shannon's got 1 open through 9 frames, a double going into the 10th, probably looking at maybe 220 max score, down against Stephanie Johnson. And Shannon going to win that match, as Stephanie has 3 red numbers that I can count, 2 of which in her last 3 frames.
Final shot here coming up for D-Mac, and again, Danielle at 11th. And still 143 pins out, but she's only going to get to 199 this game. She is going to get the win, however. So all extra pins, obviously, so important at this juncture in the tournament, but we are moving on to game number 5. Curtis, I didn't want to hold you up. Obviously, I know you're busy, but I just wanted to get a few frames in. We hadn't done this actually all year, so
no, I've been avoiding the booth.
but I did want to just come on and say thanks. Maybe let the people know, hey, here's the voice of Curtis Von Kruger. We talk about him all the time. I shout you out all the time, but
I appreciate that.
No one's really probably heard your actual voice so far this season.
I try to stay incognito behind the scenes.
Why do producers, directors, and creators all do that? Why do you think that is?
I don't know, because we spend so much time, in our own little worlds. You tend to be. I'm an extroverted introvert, so to speak, where I'm very friendly and outgoing when you talk to me one-on-one, but I don't necessarily. I kind of like to be in the background and do my own thing. But I don't know. Creative types typically have a kind of operate a little bit differently, maybe than other people.
Well, keep doing your thing.
Thank you, and you guys keep doing your thing. Obviously, you guys do a fantastic job out here, and Daniel, would really loved having you out here so far. It's been great, and
thank you.
And you asked some great questions when you interview with me, so I want to give you a shout out and say thank you as well. And Emil, you're as solid as they come, sir, and thanks for having me in here.
We've had a lot of fun conversations.
We have.
So I look forward to more of those. So game 5 is on the way. I want to thank Curtis for stopping by the booth. Daniel and I will be back with you momentarily here on Bowl TV.
it's the exact same way as the last, I think we've bowled last 30 games. Because it's like I said a couple days ago, I think match play for me is no different. It's just bowling 6 games. And I hope and pray that my score is higher than the other person's. And if it is, I get 30 more pins. If it's not, I move on and bowl the next game. And so it's not important to add more pressure to myself because pressure is made up in our minds. It doesn't have to be there. So I choose just to not let it affect me.
Game 5 underway. Match 5 of the day, or no? Match 5 of this round. Here on Bowl TV, we are nearing the conclusion. The QubicaAMF PWBA Players Championship here on Bowl TV. We want to thank our guests. We had KT Simpson on. Of course, finished 5th at the BowlerX.com PWBA Orlando Open a couple weeks back. Then turned around and won the Orlando Regional, which was the next day. And then brief time to chat with Curtis Von Kruger for a few frames. Big shot there for the Rocio. And that looked like Rowe right there. That reaction, knowing what's at stake with just 2 games left. Thank KVK for all of his hard work and efforts here on Bowl TV for the PWBA Tour. Liz Colkin taking on Brianna Cote. As we mentioned, the significance right now for Bree. Won't make the top 5, but needs to stay by our counts 16th and higher. Needs to finish 16th or higher to make sure she secures a spot via points for the PWBA Tour Championship. For Rocio, we talked about players having up and down seasons. Rowe has been battling health issues this season. And she told me she's about 80%, but has been throwing it well the last couple of weeks, maybe the last month or so. Had some great performances in the elite events. Last week helped Columbia to the team gold, and she threw several clutch shots if you watched any parts of those shows. And now with her season basically on the line, if she wants to continue it, she's got to have a big couple of games here to try to get into the top 5. Not only we're talking about just this event, of course, she'll have to win this tournament to earn a spot at the PWBA Tour Championship. We'll have a score update here momentarily as all of our matches for Game 5 are now going on strong. By the way, for bowling purposes, if you are or have been following, I should say, the World Bowling Senior Championships are ongoing at South Point. Our own Matt Cannizzaro there covering the event, so be sure to follow, if you have not already, the USBC social channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On Facebook, The Sport of Bowling, USBC. On Twitter, at USBC, and on Instagram, at US Bowling Congress. And, of course, PWBA, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, at PWBA Tour. Well, we'll wait for the latest updates, but is it in? Oh, just like that. Boom. And I was going to say, I'm curious to see where Sydney Brummett may be right now, because I mentioned the back-to-back wins, one albeit by a pin, 194-193, but gets the bonus, then shoots, what does she finish with in front of her?
43.
243, gets bonus, and she started with spare 3-bagger against Sherry Tan. What do we got, Tan?
She is 32 pins out right now in 6th place. Sherry Tan is your leader, plus 14-11. Shannon Plahowski, 13-29. Dasha Kovalova, 10-32. Birgit Poplar, 9-46. So Birgit within 100 of Dasha. Dasha's went 170-190, both losses, and Birgit has went 47-22, both wins. Still a good advantage, but it's shrinking more than we thought it would. Liz Johnson undefeated this afternoon, 4-0. She went 5-1 this morning, so Liz is 9-1 on the day. But 4-0 this afternoon in 5th place at plus 941. 32 pins back is Sydney Brummett. O'Keefe is 49 pins back. Liz Culkin, 82 back. Daria Payok, 115. Danielle McEwen in 10th is 168 back. Rocio. Shannon O'Keefe, 49 back. Liz Culkin, 82 back. Daria Payok, 115 out of the TV show. Danielle McEwen in 10th, 168 back. Rocio Restrepo, 170. And then a big gap down to Clara in 12th, 275 back. The rest of the field, Missy Park in 13th. Brianna back up to 14th position. 7 ahead of Elise Bolton. Ashley Galante in 16th. She is 16 behind Bree. So Bree with a little bit of room, but not a lot. 1 match worth of bonus pins ahead of Elise and Ashley. Nicole Trudell in 17th has jumped Stephanie Johnson. Nicole shot 237 with the win last game. Stephanie 150 in the loss. Stephanie in 18th position. Actually facing the second 2-4-10 combination, or second 2-10 combination in this lane. A 2-4-8-10 to open the game, in which she took out the 2-4-10 but left the 8. And gets the 2-4 out of the 2-4-10 there. And Sydney Brummett, pocket 7-10 in the 5th frame. Dasha Kovalova, 1 open, no doubles this game through 5 frames. Her opponent, Missy Parkin, spare 4-bagger.
Well, Daniel, if I'm reading this correctly, obviously you just went over it, but that gap that Dasha had between her 4th and 5th is not as big as it once was, not as large as it used to be. Not that many pins anymore. Would there be cause for concern at this point?
Certainly. She's down in this match a bunch to Missy Parkin. Missy Parkin, max score of 290 through 6 frames. Dasha can get to 238, so she's down 52. And Birgit Poplar in her match against Shannon O'Keefe is down. Shannon clean through 4 frames. Birgit looks like 2 opens, possibly 3 opens down on 31 and 32. So while Dasha, I would be concerned, you're kind of watching Birgit down there. Also Liz Johnson. Liz only 5 pins behind Birgit.
Rowe trying to give it all she's got here in these last 2 games. Wraps a 10 pin, looking at the front 6. For Rowe, it's simple. Need 2 big games and some help.
Yeah. Rowe, both her and Danielle McEwen in that same boat. Daria's about 50 pins up on those 2, so she's in a little better spot, but still 115 out of the show. Liz Culkin 82 out, of course right here in front of us. Shannon O'Keefe, a few pair down, going up against Poplar. Shannon 49 out, and Sydney also in front of us, 32 out. Or excuse me, just to our right. Sydney's just to our right with back-to-back splits after her spare 3-bagger start. Missy with a paralyzed 5-pin.
She gave a nice in-between smile, smirk. The crowd went, oh. On the low end, I've seen a lot of youth players, youth kids, or youth and kids are the same thing. Youth bowlers, youth athletes here this week. And we talked about the strong youth program that Buffalo Lanes North does have. So I don't know for sure, but I'm envisioning that many of the youth players have been kind of coming in and out if they're available or allowed to from a school perspective. It is at this point. Would be after school hours, certainly on a Friday. But they've been several were given lots of claps to Nicole Trudell and Danielle McEwen on 19 and 20. A couple of spare conversions down there. So it's been a great week so far, and only going to get better. And it's not over. Again, we've got about a game and a half left of competition here today. Our position round is coming up next, so don't forget about that. Position round up next. We hope to have as close as we can, and it really depends on where the players end up. Well, basically right now where these matches are being held, because for their respective players and where they are positioning. Try not to have players go back to back on the same pair. So if someone's on bowling right now on 26, let's say it's Brianna Cote and Liz Colquitt, for example. If they happen to be in vying for the 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, and one of those matches was on 25 and 26, they try to work hard to not have them on the same pair in back-to-back games in that sense. We do hope to have 1 through 8, basically, seeds or standing or positions 1 through 8 within eyesight, so we can see everything that's we can see everything that's happening. Galante gave it a nice run there, and be able to hopefully accurately report what's happening. This is when we get all hands on deck. I'm happy to be here for this, so you guys won't have to do this part all by yourselves.
It's been hectic, but it's been fun. I can tell you that Liz Johnson, who is currently in fifth place, has a pretty good lead on Stephanie Johnson in this current match. Birgit Poplar, 4 splits in a row, converted 2 of them and missed 2 of them. She is down to Shannon O'Keefe in her match. Dasha, on a 3-bagger going into the 9th split, the 9th, Dasha can punch for 2-0. So Dasha is going to stay ahead of Poplar, but lose ground to Liz Johnson. Poplar with another split, a 2-10 down on lanes 33 and 34.
Well, all of a sudden, Sid maybe lost a little bit of her look here after going spare 3-bagger, 8-1 split, 7-2 split, 9 spare, and now a 2-8 in the 8th frame, working against Sherry Tan.
Could just be one of those bad pairs. Slow down. Oh, these balls get to the back end, and they do not want to go left. And I think that's why we're seeing so many splits, because the back ends are so tight that the players, if they push it long, they're fast with their speed, they miss it at the bottom, or they miss right, the ball's not going to recover. You're looking 2, 4, 10 combinations. They try and square their angles up because they know the back ends are tight, and when you square up like that, if you miss left, the ball's just going to go straight to the face. But then we deal with what KT was talking about, what Liz Johnson talked about. The heads are going away. So they try to get left, and then all of a sudden you're pushing the ball back right. It's a terrible position to be in if you're a player, and then you add in all these pairs are playing different. This is a far cry from what we saw really even the day 1 back on Wednesday.
Max score now for Rocio, 244. As Sherry Tan strikes in the 8th frame, again to our right on 27 and 28. We've had 5 channels for you throughout the week. Big thanks to my man A.A. Ron, Aaron Smith. Between he and Daniel Farish holding it down on every facet of what we do here week in and week out, from the live stream portion to the Bowl TV Central on the road portion to, we all converge on TV notes and all of the above that we do here. So I really appreciate them for filling in for me, and I'm happy to help them ease the load. Did I mention that my son was a month old today?
You did not, actually.
He is a month.
So today is it?
Wow. 1 month, dude.
Oh, then I gotta.
The quickest 30 days I think I've ever seen.
I gotta say something, bro. I gotta say something.
What do you guys
You
say?
asked me like 2 games ago. You said, "Hey, what's today's date?"
Oh, you're right.
Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
man.
Definitely.
Come on.
I mean, it's not his birthday. I'm not gonna forget that.
1 month, bro. I've learned that new parents, when you ask them, "How old's your baby?" they don't say 1.5 years. They go, "Oh, he's 19 months."
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, I can't do that, Matt. Just tell me how old the kid is.
It gets very specific.
Tell me 1.5, 1, 2. Don't tell me 15 months.
It gets
I'm,
very
I'm
specific.
doing fractions and dividing, and there's remainders. No.
At 29 months.
Nah, your kids too, bro.
29 months. 7-10 for a show. Okay, Sherry gave it a bounce.
Sydney's now with a chance to shut out. Sydney can get to 213 over on 27 to 28. Sherry, best she can do is 205.
Big double in the 10th frame for Dasha Kovalova. She can now get to 203 with a strike.
Plahowski was down 82 pins.
Ooh.
And she's got a string of strikes going into her respective 10th frame.
When you get done with that, by the way, you'll want to check the chat, Katie. Just let me know.
Looks like Plahowski can shoot 50-something, 57. Her first shot in the 10th is going to be, oh, good. So Plahowski going to pick up. Well, we could see a new leader after this game. That's what I'm talking about. PWBA, baby. All right, you said check the chat.
Big shot for Cote. Trying to ensure a spot in the Tour Championship.
8,400.
Well, that one too. Well, happy birthday to your son, by the way, kid. You'll want to scroll up, though.
I'd rather be a non-fan than someone that splits the difference. I'd rather not bet at all than hedge it.
Oh.
I can't wait to meet Chris at the
This is great.
Tour Finals in a couple weeks.
High Oak, by the way, taking on Elise Bolton on 21 and 22. Doubled in frames 8 and 9.
Liz Johnson is in the 250s. One more strike in the 11th will put her in the 260s.
Beer gets 99 in the 9th frame. Thanks to the assist from Aaron Smith, who has a good view on the score down there. Certainly not the time you'd love to or would like to see that.
I did not see what Dasha shot, but with Liz shooting 260 plus her 30 bonus. Well, Liz, good chance here. Liz could pass as she trips a late 4-pin to get into the 260s. Liz could possibly pass Dasha this game. Plahowski 257, so went plus 87. If Sherry strikes out the 10th, her and Shannon are tied going into the final game. And a #1 seed for Plahowski would guarantee her a spot in the Tour Finals coming up. I think Rose, did you see that shot from Rowe? Ball was left of where it was last time on that lane, so it hit the half pocket, and the 7-10 were the last two to fall. And for a split second, we saw a 5-7-10 standing. Now, I think that was her little sly smile at the end. She kind of noticed it.
Cote shoots 266. Right now, everyone kind of honing in on Daria. First one in the 10th, looking for 4 in a row. 310 for Daria. Sherry Tan, meanwhile, doubles. And needs 8. That was a well-bowled game for Rowe. And sometimes, not to say you only get 23 pins added to your score, but that was worth way more than 23 pins. Sherry Tan over on 27 and 8. 8 pins to get a victory. 7 to tie, 6 to lose. And 10 will do it. Sydney misses out on 30 bonus.
That concludes our 17th game of match play. We're going to add up our score sheets and put them in order. And we'll have one more game to go, our position round. Give us a moment, we'll come back out. We'll see who will make it to our live stepladder finals of the Cubica PWBA Players Championship.
So, well, nice round of applause there. I don't know if I've ever actually heard the applause after that announcement. So, shout out to the Buffalo Lanes North fans there. That's pretty cool. All right, so what we have is, as we talked about, position rounds on the way. That gives us a chance to kind of reset the scene a little bit. By the way, we will be joined by the newly minted PWBA Rookie of the Year for Game 6, Valerie Bercier. We'll talk to Val for a little bit, and she will help us figure out, hey, give us some ideas on what's happening on the lanes at this point in the block, and also talk about, obviously, the movement that will potentially go down. And that's what we're expecting to see here. So we've got Sherry Tan, Shannon Pluhowski. We know at this point these two will be battling for the top seed. Unsure again what their differential will be pinfall wise. Will it be enough for Shannon to overtake Sherry? We will find out. Then all of a sudden, Dasha Kovalova. It seems like every time we talk about a player having talk about players kind of being in their own world and looking okay, and she's just kind of been in third, it seemed like the entire tournament. All of a sudden, she has company and could be out of that third position. How far would she have dropped down? We'll find out if she's done any moving at all, but it is a lot closer. And Liz Johnson, the Hall of Famer, has come on strong here. She got the win that time?
Yeah, Liz shot 66 with the win. So 96 pins on top of her total. That would put her at 1037. And Dasha was at 1032, and she could have punched for 203. So I believe Liz probably passed Dasha in that moment.
And excuse me. What do we come 10-1 today?
10-1 today for Liz Johnson.
10-1 today for Liz Johnson.
So what I'm expecting us to see going into the final game, I'm expecting to see Liz in third, Dasha probably in fourth. Shannon O'Keefe, I believe she was a higher scratch score than Sydney, and Shannon won her game. She was in the two teams. So I would expect to see Liz, Dasha, Shannon, and then Sydney, and then probably Birgit. But I don't know how low that 110 or 120 game for Birgit dropped her. So that is yet to be seen.
So along with that, we do have a giveaway
Oh, boy.
as well. We had a giveaway here for patient, passionate Bowl TV viewers for position round as well. So stay tuned for that. We've got Valerie Bercier, the Rookie of the Year. We'll talk early with her in this game just about what it means to win the award, and obviously make sure we focus on the matches going on certainly in front of us so we won't miss anything. It's been a great week. Buffalo Lanes North, Raleigh, North Carolina. Again, big thanks to Melissa McDaniel. Doing great work here at Buffalo Lanes North. Also, great work overall in the bowling industry. A USBC board member as well, so we appreciate her service to our sport and what she has done here at Buffalo Lanes North. Of course, to Neil Milligan, Kathy Wonka, Kathy Kavicki. Then from afar, great folks here at the office back in Arlington, Texas, as the players start to move the equipment, get an idea of where they might be, and as position round awaits. Again, if you are near the area, in the area, and want to stop by tomorrow, I'm not sure if any space remains in both of those Bowl with the Pro shifts, but there are two at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Time here at Buffalo Lanes North. So if you are in the area and say, hey, this is an opportunity to bowl with some of my favorite professionals, be sure to call the bowling center, see what space they have left. I want to thank, while we have a moment, and I'll do it again, but the chiropractor who is here this week for the players, Dr. Eric J. Askland of Askland Chiropractic and Acupuncture, sponsoring tomorrow's Bowl with the Pro events, both sessions, from what I understand as well. Then on Sunday, if you are again near the area and you ever wanted to throw and get a chance to talk to some of your favorite professionals about what equipment they do to throw, what bowling balls they like, what brands you want to throw. All brands representing our gold partners: 900 Global, Brunswick, Columbia 300, DV8, Hammer, Motive, Roto Grip, and Storm. All those brands are represented each week at a Fan Fest, and we will have a Fan Fest on Sunday prior to the TV show at 4 p.m. Eastern. So still plenty of bowling opportunities, especially for the fans.
Yeah, that's one of the great things that I love about this tour is the accessibility that the fans have with the players. Not only can you sit... let me get back to the chat real quick. Hold on, giveaway's begun.
It's happening.
I'm glad you had your window up.
Hit submit entry, don't forget.
Oh, man, that was quick.
They were prepared for it. So Denise Daigle, I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
That's how I'd go.
So we've got two Visiballs, by the way, that get signed. One from an earlier giveaway this week, and Denise just won one as well. So two Visiballs, mini Visiballs, to get autographed by the 5 finalists, which will be determined in just a few minutes. Okay, sorry.
But actually, that ties in perfectly with what I was saying. You know, where else can you get an article, let's say a jersey or a T-shirt signed by the players in your favorite respective league? You don't have that accessibility. I mean, here you can sit in a bleacher literally 5 feet behind them. You can talk to them in between sets. You can participate in their sport with them on the same arena, on the same lanes that they do. I mean, that's one of the great things about bowling, but especially the PWBA, because these players are so open to the fans. They understand that the tour, the rebirth is still, for what we planned, the tour is in its infancy, just the 5th season since it came back in 2015. And these players know it's also their job not just to throw the ball, but to help grow the tour. And they have fully embraced that with their athlete pages, their acceptance to do these Bowl with the Pros. A day after 45 of them are going to miss the cut, are going to miss TV. We're going to have a bunch of them here representing their brands during the Fan Fest, Bowling with the Pros, so that's a great opportunity.
All right, the music stopped, so that means that Tennille is ready. We'll have lane assignments here in just a few seconds. Chris, to your question, I will I will answer that in 1 minute.
Back into the office, Tenille goes. So
Oh, okay.
we may have a minute.
Well, the last few years at Richmond, and I'm assuming it's the same. I haven't seen the final schedule, but there has been a fan-oriented event where fans can come in and bowl on the lanes QubicaAMF will be installing inside the Old Dominion building. I believe last year was Thursday. It was the day after the TV show. So fans from all across the medium, whether it's bowling fans, obviously people are coming into town and already in town for both races as well. So we had a lot of fans come on over and try out the lanes. Last year we had players, of course, as well be available. So similar to a fan fest, but minus the equipment part. So, you know, if you have your own equipment, they'll have some house balls and stuff like that, and you can kind of hang out and do some cool stuff with the QubicaAMF scoring as well. And the lanes light up. I forgot. Why can't I think of? I'll tell you what right now what that game is as well. Oh, my man. Thanks, Christopher. Appreciate that for dropping that in the chat in regards to the schedule. And there's Tenille.
We're going to start with our tournament leader right now is Sherry Tan, and she's going to be on lanes 21 and 22 versus Shannon Plahowski. And there is 30 pins separating our 1 and 2 seed.
Ooh.
On lanes 23 and 24, in third we have Liz Johnson versus Dasha Kovalova. And there are 2 pins separating Dasha and Liz.
Did she say 2?
In fifth, on lanes 25 and 26,
wow.
Shannon O'Keefe, and her opponent will be Sydney Brummett. And Sydney Brummett is 22 pins out of the show. Lanes 27 and 28, we have Daria Payok versus Birgit Perpler. 29 and 30, Liz Culkin versus Rocio Restrepo. 31 and 32, Danielle McEwen versus Clara Guerrero. On lanes 33 and 34, Brianna Cote versus Missy Parkin. On lanes 35 and 36, Elise Bolton versus Ashley Galante. And then we're going to move back over to lanes 19 and 20, and we will have Nicole Trudell versus Stephanie Johnson. Ladies, please report to your lanes, and we'll give you 5 minutes of warm-up. Coming on for 5 minutes of warm-up.
So as Tenille mentioned, Liz Johnson, the top 2 spots, Sherry and Shannon, separated by 30 pins. Sherry still your number 1 seed, or your leader. Liz Johnson and Dasha Kovalova, 3rd and 4th. Liz, pull up the standings because the scroll on the screen is covering it up. Let's see, here we go. Liz is 380 behind Shannon, so your top 2 are going to be your top 2. Just depends on what order. Again, Liz, 2 pins ahead of Dasha. Dasha 101 ahead of Shannon. So if nothing crazy happens, your 1, 2 are who they are. Your 3, 4 are who they are because they are just north of 100 pins ahead of 5th and on back. But we've seen crazy. Let's see, Shannon O'Keefe is 22 ahead of Sydney. Shannon, the 5th and final seed on the show right now with 1 game to go. Sydney is 30 ahead of Daria in 7th. Birgit Poplar is 16 behind Daria, so 46 behind Sydney. Liz Culkin in 9th is 3 behind Birgit, and Rocio in 10th is 38 behind Liz. Give you an idea with Shannon O'Keefe at 933 over. Rocio in 10th is 824, so 109 pins separate the show, 5th place, from 10th place Rocio.
Wow. Well, and with that said, please let us welcome, the newly minted and officially reigning 2019 PWBA Rookie of the Year, Valerie Bercier. How are you?
Hi, Emil. Doing well, thank you. How are you?
What does it feel like when I said that?
Oh my gosh, it's surreal. So I was waiting for you to announce the award earlier.
I'm sorry,
and I
it took forever. I apologize.
No. Well, I wasn't waiting. I was standing there patiently and consuming all of the information that you were saying. And you said, like all of the other rookies, I mean, I kind of teared up a little bit because, holy cow.
And I didn't even, clearly that's not all of them.
No, it's not. I mean, I'm actually kind of tearing up right now because just thinking about all of those other incredible players got that award, and now I get to say that I got it too. Oh my gosh.
Well, you earned it.
Well, okay, yeah, I earned it.
You did.
It wasn't even awarded, you know. Somebody said congrats, she got awarded on it, and I was thinking, there is a difference between being awarded something and earning something. Yeah, I wasn't appointed Rookie of the Year.
2 minutes of warm-up remains.
So much.
So you had a chance to bowl on this pattern, obviously during qualifying, and you've been the alternate as well, so you're paying attention to the scores. But have you been watching kind of what's been happening on the lanes a little bit as well? And you can be honest.
Yeah, because you're looking at me. Not as much as I would be if I were bowling. I'm watching more scores for sure, what people are shooting. I haven't paid attention. Actually, it's been a nice little break not paying attention to who's throwing what ball where, because I do pay attention to that when I bowl. So just because if somebody's, striking with a certain bowling ball at a certain surface in a certain part of the lane, then that means something. But just because now I'm a spectator and I just like, cool, she just shot 240. And then, so what I've been doing is calling in the scores. For example, maybe I'll use one. Okay, use the end pair. Nicole, 222 win, and then Stephanie, 232, or I'm sorry, 219 lose. Like, that's all I know recently.
While we have a few seconds left before this warm-up practice is over, is there a moment that you can think back to this season that, just kind of said, hey, this is the moment, not that you won Rookie of the Year, but this is the moment where you said, hey, I belong out here, and, I can kind of win this thing. I can end up having this award at the end of the season.
So I actually thought about it before I even started.
Okay.
I had it tied into one of my contracts as a goal, and as an incentive, because why not? And then I had to make sure to verify it.
Right, which we went over several times throughout the season.
Several times, because I got married. My maiden name's Calberry, and I never bowled the Queens, but I bowled the Open, and so I was like, if I'm eligible, that's what I'm gonna go after. Why not?
Well, I won't give it away, but we did surprise Valerie this morning. That's all I'm going to say. You'll have to be watching out for social media or the TV show itself to see the final product. But we did make her wait it out.
Please check it out. If you want some entertainment, please check it out.
All right, folks. So Sherry Tan and Shannon Pluhowski on 21 and 22. If you're scoring at home, the tabs you want to open up and the lanes you want to watch, right here in front of us. Liz Johnson, Dasha Kovalova, 3 and 4. Shannon O'Keefe, Sydney Brummett, 5 and 6. Daria Payok, Birgit Poplar, 7 and 8.
Liz just smashed a 9.
As Daniel mentioned, she is 10 and 1 on the day. That includes both rounds of match play today to make a run to the show. Speaking of Liz Johnson.
She's 10 and 1?
10 and 1, right, Daniel?
I feel like I should know
Her only
this.
loss was 210, the second game this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was keeping track of this, but I just, that's incredible. Good for her. Well, she didn't win a lot yesterday, so she was probably like, I gotta have a better day.
You're not wrong.
Nice. 22, 52, 68, 71. Man, it could literally go anyway.
And Daniel, while you have that up,
Yo.
just in case those who may or may not have the standings up, like myself, right now,
Yeah.
this is a selfish request. Can you recite the plus minuses for those players who all have a chance at this point?
At making the show? Yes. Okay, so we'll start with 5th place. Shannon O'Keefe is at 933. Sydney Brummett is at 911. Daria Payok, 881. Birgit, 865. Kulkin, 862. Rocio, 824. And Danielle, 811. After that, Clara is like 680. So.
Okay. Well, here we go. This is it, folks. Position round. This is the final game. Anything can happen, obviously. This is where, if there's a tie, this is where it'll happen, probably.
And I did want to touch back on something real quick that is outside the conversation of the show. Brianna is up to 13th, so she has squarely put herself away from the danger zone of falling out of the tour finals based on her points.
Oh, I didn't even know that was an option.
If Bree had finished 17th or 18th this week, or today, she would have fallen behind Tanya in the points. And Tanya is the number right now, with the possibility of Sherry winning, who would steal a bid. Shannon Plahowski is up in the points right now.
Yep.
So yeah, Bree is put herself in a really good position, going 4-0 or 4-1.
Okay.
Well, 3-2 this afternoon. Excuse me, 3-2 this afternoon with some big numbers. So.
So what happens if, and I don't know if anybody else has this question, but if, say, Birgit makes the show as well, because she's also in the running, she makes a show, and, like, how far away does she have to finish from, say, Shannon P?
Birgit, she would have needed to finish 3rd.
She needs to finish 3rd?
Yes, that's the only way she could make the tour finals.
Okay.
And right now she's 68 out of the show.
So still a possibility, right?
Yes.
But then, and that means that Shannon P, Sherry, and Birgit? No. Is that possible?
Shannon P, Birgit, and Sherry?
Yeah.
If they're your top 3,
Yeah.
That's a new scenario.
Oh.
I'm not sure we've.
I created a new scenario.
I'm not sure we've explored that one.
I have.
My man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what it says is if Shannon wins, can I read it? Is that possible?
It's because Sherry can only make the finals if she wins. If she doesn't win,
then it's
doesn't have enough points.
Okay.
So if Birgit wins, she would obviously make the finals. Shannon P is going to be, she can finish 2nd or 3rd in that situation and make the finals.
Yeah.
Because Sherry would not.
Right. Okay. Well, you know what? We're not really 12 frames away because we still have the TV show as well, but we're pretty close to figuring this stuff out.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I want to thank Daniel. He's been keeping up to date with that.
You bomb.
Round by round. Most of the time, honestly, game by game for the most part. And Aaron Smith as well. And Tennille has provided all updates, of course, after conclusions of rounds for verification as well. As Liz Johnson gets them all to fall down. So Liz, early spare strike situation here. Of course, this O'Keefe Brummett, for Sydney Brummett, who finished 6th last year at the Queens. Now in a similar position in a major. Looks like she leaked one just a touch right, 2-4-8-10.
That spare is makeable.
Well, considering what we have seen from the players in regards to making spares today, that possibility increases because players have been just amazing at making splits the last couple of days here, especially today.
I mean, in my career, I've never made a 4-6, and I've seen that combination made 3 times in 2 days out here.
Wow. I did see it earlier in qualifying. I think it was Pamela that made it. I was like, but she left the 7-pin. And I was like, but still, you made the 4-6.
And at this point,
make it.
how?
Oh my gosh, that was
Good Lord.
so close.
I was going to ask you, Valerie, in that situation, if you were Sydney, were you
Yeah.
thinking count or going for it in her position?
Go for it.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the right answer, but I would.
Well, that's what I said. Well, if you were her at that point.
I'm really good at getting 6 on a double or a triple. So count is probably not my forte.
That's fantastic.
So I would go for it.
I think
Just
you got-
because that's a really fun spare to make, honestly.
I think you got to stay aggressive in that situation, though.
Yeah. I think I heard Stephanie, she was on here. I don't remember. I was listening in my hotel room at one point, and it wasn't this tournament. It was another tournament. And she said something about, if you don't risk anything, there's no reward.
She said that in Orlando.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah. She's an incredible commentator. It's like, man, I learned a lot from her when I was listening.
It's Kovalova.
Oh, come on. Well, she did 2-4-10 on that lane. The previous shot. So 23 and 24, I think, and or 21 and 22. What I noticed was it was a mess. Like this, I can't remember which pair, but I just know a lot of people struggled on those 2 pairs. Just like the right and the left lanes were just completely different.
I feel 23 and 24 has been mentioned kind of in that sense by other players this week.
Yeah.
I obviously wouldn't shock if 21 and 22 were also like that as well.
Probably. You know what, though? If that's the case, the lefties got the best pair to be on because they don't have a problem on that pair. So it seems.
Yesterday they started on 19 and 20 when we began match play. Of course, they were the 1-2 seeds, still are the 1-2 seeds. And by the way, Shannon Puhalski has started with the front 4. She trails Sherry Tan in the standings by 30 pins. So essentially, if Shannon wins,
She wins.
she will be the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get any easier than that from the math perspective with bonus pins. Nope.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't get any easier. She literally has to beat her by 1 pin.
That's the rare.
Scratch.
This is one of the rare times where we can just say, here's
Straight up.
exactly what
Yeah.
what happens. Here's what needs to happen.
So you know what? As of right now, she's ahead.
Well, speaking of Birgit, she has started with the front 4
After
her match.
119.
Oh my gosh.
That is.
That's important.
I'm a little
to know.
biased. I can't be biased.
Well, it's okay.
But you know
can
what?
be.
Let's
I
just.
can? Oh, all right.
Let's just say.
I don't
Let's
know these
just.
rules.
I'll say. Here's what I'll say. I'll let the viewers know. Valerie is a member of the Brunswick DB8 team staff, so
Yes.
if you hear her kind of smile and be like, for Birgit or Dasha,
Yes. Or Liz.
please don't
Culkin,
please
where's
don't
she
be
at?
offense. Take offense to.
Don't take offense.
Let her get a few more minutes as the rookie of the year before you come down on.
Danielle McEwen is 122 out, and she's got the front 5.
Okay, here we go.
Making things interesting.
Danielle is on
31 and 32.
Okay,
Oh,
so
do you know the player? You know the player to your standings as well. So
That's player of the year right now as it stands.
yes. So remember we were doing this.
Oh.
Oh.
What do we got?
quick poll from Aaron Smith. And he asks, simply put, who's going to get the 5th spot for Sunday CBS Sports Network Finals?
Yes.
Shannon O'Keefe, Daria Payok, Liz Colkin, Sydney Brummett, Birgit Poplar, and Rocio Restrepo. Nice poll, Aaron. I'm curious. Yeah, let us know what you think, folks. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's totally fine. I was thinking with player of the year.
Uh,
So ultimately, though, if Shannon O'Keefe beats Danielle in standings, like it's over, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that answers that pretty much.
Well, no. Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
But it depends on where, because, I mean, Dasha, there is, I like to say, there is a universe that exists where mathematically Dasha could take it home, but a lot of things would have to happen.
Okay, I'm biased there too.
71% of the folks watching, or who voted, said Shannon O'Keefe would earn that spot, followed by Sydney Brummett with 14%.
Been on fire.
So essentially, whoever takes care of business here in this match with O'Keefe Brummett with that 22 pins separating them right now.
Oh, strike.
Right, big shot there for Brummett. Nicole Trudell, by the way, has got the front 7.
Whoa. She did that this morning, didn't she? I should front 8.
She had the front.
I'm sorry, not this morning, like this block.
I think so.
First game of this walk. Feels like this morning.
So we've got Danielle
Oh,
now on the front
Danielle.
7.
Front 7.
We have got
Birgit had front 5, 9 spare.
Trudell, sorry, front 7. Birgit went front 5, 9 spare. Again, if you're scoring at home, open up those tabs. And yes, for Sydney Brummett, it's go time. Luckily for her, Shannon has yet to double in this match.
Well, we talked about 3rd and 4th were 100 pins ahead of O'Keefe in 5th. And 3rd and 4th are both opening the door for Shannon and or Sydney to catch them, but neither Shannon nor Sydney has doubled, just like neither Liz nor Dasha have doubled.
Oh, nope. No double for Sydney. But it's on a strike, so 7 spares, like, she could have smashed an 8 pin and it'd be the same score, so.
So we've been watching the Sydney Brummett on a train moving to the station yesterday. Of course, she went undefeated, jumped from 17th to 7th. And then, had a little roller coaster, but did what she had to do today and to give herself position. 22 pins separate her and Shannon O'Keefe. Brummett's 6th right now. O'Keefe is 5th.
Pluhowski maintains her 11-pin lead.
Hold
on Sherry through 7 frames. Pluhowski can go 79. Sherry can go 68 through 7.
Can I make a joke? They're bowling on a different pattern. They're bowling on a different pattern, I mean.
Well, I would say that
I'm just kidding.
Shannon may argue that the last 3 weeks she's been on a different pattern from y'all as well.
It's so true.
It's been rough.
Yeah, it really has. The left was not easy.
I'm going to ask that question.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to ask someone that. Can I make a joke?
Can I make a joke? Are you ready for this? Yeah, the World Championships, the left. Although Sherry whacked it at the World Championships, so she's just a freak of nature. I mean, I admire her and her game.
Trudell on the front 8 down on lane 19. Her shot off her hand.
Oh, yes.
Sounds good. Front 9 for Trudell.
Oh, here we go. Got another chance.
Awesome stuff for Nicole.
Oh, Daria just made a split. What was it?
I did not see it. Let's see if we can catch the our delay on our one of our secondary channels.
4-9.
4-9 made.
Wow, that is an
catch there,
what?
Daniel.
On a triple too. I gotta learn how to do that.
Yeah, this match for the top seed is getting heated.
Oh,
First double.
There you go. With some fire.
For either player.
Double out of Shannon O'Keefe.
Well, of course, for Shannon, obviously already with 4 titles this season. She makes the show.
She's made other shows and not one, right? Yeah. Amazing.
Made the U.S. Women's Open show. Just off the top of my head.
Right.
Think about what she could do here. With the Tour Championship still remaining, a show that more than likely, she's going to be automatically seeded to the finals or to the semifinals on the show already. And so Shannon's got, she can have 6 titles by the end of the year.
Danielle with 8 now. Down on 31. Stepping up in the 9th momentarily.
Danielle, you're just on this. Emil and I are a little world over here talking to each other.
This is where my OCD kicks in, and I'm just like, okay, what's going on everywhere?
Yeah,
well, right now it's, not right now I'm concerned about how we'll cover each 300.
That's a good point.
Let's
see what Danielle does here in the 9th. Posted it, liked it, struck it.
Holy smokes. And
let me confer with Aaron Smith.
You guys have cameras. Although it has, I don't want to say it, but Curtis coming out, oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's doing both.
Yeah. Right, he's going to do both.
He's just
is
pointing
a
both
rock
ways.
Star. It was cute because when I shot 300 in Tucson, there were multiple front 9, 10, 11. And they kept saying, oh, black cloud, right? And when he showed up, I was in such a good headspace that I was like, ooh, this means I'm doing something good.
Yeah, if he's around you, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I was like, this means I'm doing something good. Like,
All right.
stand behind me. Let's see. Let's see how it
Pluhowski
goes.
single pins in the 9th. Best she can do is 247. Sherry Tan, best she can do is 268. So Tan with the upper hand.
Hmm. Wow.
Curtis right now is looking to see which
Go, 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 go. Oh,
which
no.
match from the 300 perspective
Gosh, I just... Big 5
is going to
On
go
a double.
first.
on a double. Oh, we were just talking about that.
So Shannon Pluhowski, 9 spare in the 9th, back-to-back 9 spares. Best she can do is shoot 247. Sherry, of course, hasn't quit striking since the 5th frame. She's gone double, 9 spare, 5-bagger, and can max at 268. So big shot, a big 10th frame for Pluhowski in regards to the #1 seed, and a good shot for Dasha Kovalova, trying to give that Greek church a run.
That would have been fun.
Oh!
Roll the 3.
Pluhowski rolled a 3-pin. Lefty versus lefty on 21 and 22. Clara is up in the 10th frame, so it looks like Danielle will finish that match last. Nicole Trudell is up 10th frame. First one is pure.
Nice. I was 0-ing on O'Keefe's flat 10. That was a great shot for her. Here comes... Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no, she's not up yet. I was going to say Curtis is currently...
He's got time right now. He's got 2 shots, essentially, for before Danielle will step up at the 10th.
Her 10th, and...
Watch Pluhowski. It's a nice love in the 10th frame.
Wow. I
Here
didn't
get
even see
Poplar.
it, but I just saw a strike.
On 11 for Nicole Trudell. Birgit Poplar is up on lane 28 in the 9th frame. Can shoot 259 max score.
Oh.
And through the nose, 3, 4, 6, 7. Daria Payok, 18. Is Daria Payok, what's that? That would be...
She's 881.
76. That probably won't be enough. Oh.
Hey,
Great
it
job.
all depends on the finish here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll see.
Trudell.
Oh, we got a lot happening.
For the 12th shot. She got it.
Got it.
Nice. Good for her.
Nicely done. Congratulations, Nicole
Holy
Trudell.
cow.
Danielle McEwen up in the 10th. Her first shot on front 9 down on lane 32. She carries it.
It's amazing. It's just like an endless clap.
A lot going on right now.
Yeah, it was like they didn't stop clapping, actually.
Sherry Tan, first strike in the 10th. She will clinch the #1 seed for the TV show on Saturday. Shannon Pluhowski will be your #2 seed.
Man, do you know how many games were lost by that? Shoot 240 and lose?
A lot.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Did you?
Surprisingly, it sounds like it happened way more often than especially from you, because you were keeping scores all day.
Keeping score. And then, but then you would have, oh, wiggle 10.
Yep.
Still a great game. So what happens if she shoots? Because she's 100 something back.
That puts her at 930 over, assuming the spare.
9, right. She's clutch on spares. 930 over. So 70, 89. So Sydney's actually not going to get to there. Sydney's going to be 9.
Sydney's going to be, well,
Low 9.
if she shoots 95
Yeah.
but gets the win, she's at 936.
She can't. She's mathematically shut out by O'Keefe, I think.
No,
90,
Shannon
90,
can split.
Oh, okay.
Well,
If Shannon
maybe,
fills
yeah.
9, they tie.
Okay. You know what? You're better at math than I am. Anybody actually probably is.
Well, having worked the Open Championships all year, it was my job to do bowling math in my head every frame of every game.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure you got really good at it. All the possibilities.
Exactly.
Especially if it's on like a strike, if it's a 9. Oh, all right.
Still a very important shot for Sydney Brummett right here. Strike here would force Shannon to fill 10. It's basically mark to get the win in the match. Bjerg at 223.
Sherry Tan, congratulations.
Fill 10.
No, that's fine.
What a great tournament from Sydney Brummett.
You know what? Honestly, that's a decent game. Aside from the 2-4-8-10, that is a solid game.
So now if Shannon fills 9 pins, she will get the match win. The problem with Shannon.
She would get to.
Shannon shoots 207. She would shut out Daria. She would stay ahead of Sydney. She's already ahead of Birgit.
Was that including if Daria's max score?
Yes.
Did you mention that? Okay.
Yes.
With bonus?
Yes.
Okay. For them all. Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, that'll do it.
That's enough though, because
Yeah.
even if she misses it, she's still 1 pin ahead of Daria's max.
Wow.
I don't know how many centimeters
I know.
right there from me.
Yeah.
Obviously a 710, which we saw, unfortunately.
A lot.
Was that, what show was that?
The World Championships?
World Championships. That's what I'm thinking
Yep,
of.
she actually did that earlier too. She left
Yep.
7-10 in a very similar way.
So it looks like we're going to see Sherry, Shannon, Liz Johnson, Dasha, and it looks like Shannon O'Keefe.
Unbelievable what O'Keefe has done and continues to do. 6-1 on television this year. That's her record
Wow.
on TV.
I have 0-1. Can I make a joke?
That was well timed, though.
That was what?
That was pretty good. That was well timed.
Yeah, that's incredible. She has fire. I admire it.
Just so I'm clear, Daniel, you said 207 was the number? Or she just needed 9, right? But you said 207, so I was trying to make sure I
I
understood.
think he was calculating spare strike.
Okay.
And then she gets to 970 plus 970, which means she actually shuts out everybody.
Yes. If she had went 9 out, she would have shut out Daria by 1.
Okay.
And yeah, Daria's. I think she struck out just now.
She did.
246. Great game.
What an interesting way this thing all ended up boiling down to in some ways I don't think we kind of expected.
So
We had a little
Dasha,
turn.
yeah, shot -18. So that gets her to.
10-16.
So, yeah, she was plus 1,000 something.
Yeah.
All right. So she's okay.
Yeah, she's 4th.
Oh yeah, she's.
Okay.
Before we leave, we congratulated Nicole Trudell on her 300 game. But one note about Nicole, she had a double mastectomy. I don't know if people know that, actually, months back. So
How about that, bowling ladies and
congrats to
gentlemen?
Nicole on being
At
back
this
and
time, it's my pleasure
great
to
things at a
introduce to
major.
you your top 5 for the live CBS Sports Network TV Stepladder Finals of the QubicaAMF PWBA Players Championship. Our number 5 seed from Shiloh, Illinois, our reigning Player of the Year, Shannon O'Keefe. Her opponent in the opening match is our number 4 qualifier from Ukraine, Dasha Kovalova. The event out of that match will face our number 3 seed from Palatine, Illinois, USBC Hall of Famer Liz Johnston.
6-0 this
The
round.
winner of that match will go on to face
11-1
qualifier
today.
from Dayton, Ohio, Shannon Plahowski.
She's the GOAT, right? That's
Unbelievable.
why they call her
And the
that.
victor of that match will
So
face
she's
our
taking that
tournament
title.
leader all the way from Singapore, Sherry Tan.
Oh, she's got lots of fans. That's cute.
Bowling fans, these are your top 5 athletes for the live CBS Sports Network TV stepladder finals of the QubicaAMF PWBA Players Championship. How about another great big round of applause for all of our competitors?
There you see it. Sherry Tan, Shannon
On behalf of
Plahowski,
Buffalo
Liz
Wings
Johnson,
North
Dasha
and the entire
Kovalova,
PWBA Tour,
and
thank you very much for
Shannon
coming out
O'Keefe.
today and all of your support, and we hope to see you Sunday for the exciting conclusion of the QubicaAMF PWBA Players Championship. Our live TV show will start at 4 p.m. Seating will begin at 3, but prior to that, we will have Fan Fest, and that is free to everybody to come try out bowling balls from all of our PWBA product specialists. So come on out, that starts at 1 o'clock, and that is free. So bring your shoes and enjoy. Again, thank you for coming out, and we'll see you tomorrow for our Bowl with the Pro event. Good night, everybody. Be safe, be good, and support your sport.
Nicely done from Tennille Milligan.
I do have some rough numbers on Player of the Year. Shannon, by my math, I believe just wrapped it up. But that number 2 seed for the TV is still up for grabs. If Dasha wins on Sunday, she would pass Danielle, and she would be our 2 seed on TV. But how it works with Shannon being the number 1, if she loses in that semifinal match, she would get 3rd place points, and the 3rd place points compared to the 1st place points at the tour finals is 10,000. And if Dasha wins on Sunday, she's still 12,000 behind Shannon.
So not enough.
Danielle is 15,000 behind, so not enough.
So congratulations to Shannon O'Keefe, official, but unofficial, but
Unofficial.
but official.
Super unofficial.
2019 PWBA Player of the Year in back-to-back fashion. We will make sure it is official, of course.
Absolutely.
And send out our press release about that as well. So be on the lookout for that in the coming, probably if not today, certainly tomorrow. We've kind of got a day dedicated to some things, including our Rookie of the Year, and certainly probably more than likely our Player of the Year. So speaking of Rookie of the Year, final thoughts just on your season before we, hopefully we won't go too long without seeing you at some point, but final thoughts on your season.
Oh, gosh, just long and exhausting and grueling, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm just in gratitude right now. I can't believe that I committed to this and it's already over. I'm excited to do it again, but I'm going to be more prepared, especially physically.
Sure.
Holy cow. Yeah, I'm just going to be more physically prepared and then, of course, mentally. But I'm really, really looking forward to taking some needed time off. I'm one of those players that I actually come back rested as opposed to needing to bowl all the time. And so for me, rest is extremely important. And so I'm excited to just not have anything in my schedule in terms of bowling. And it's 8 months till the start of the next season, so a lot can change in that time. But yeah, thank you so much for everything that you guys do. You guys rock. I watch Bowl TV all the time. Tell your friends to get subscriptions.
Absolutely. Tell them so you can watch. She'll be the Rookie of the Year until at least the end of 2020. So.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll let you go and we'll wrap things up. So thank you, Valerie, and again, congratulations again, and don't forget to be prepared for your official photos tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
She's got that look like.
I actually gotta get ready. No glasses tomorrow. Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That is Valerie Bercier. And oops, my bad. Sorry, Daniel.
You good? You good, fam?
Again, congrats again to Valerie, and be on the lookout for the official news and notes on Valerie's award on tomorrow. And then so for Daniel Farish, fantastic job keeping up with all of our points. Between you and Aaron, there will certainly be two people I would choose to handle that job because each of you like numbers.
Yes, very much so.
Very much so. But I do appreciate you. And so, since we've gotten through 3 elite events and a major, just kind of thoughts on first of all this week and what it came down to, and then the elite events and your experience here.
Well, for this week, what amazed me the most was how brutal this oil pattern got for these players. And obviously, we're setting Sherry and Shannon aside. That right side of the lane, it just got so mucked up, and the back ends got so tight, and the heads started to go away quicker as the tournament went on. You mix this, well, kind of what I said on day one. You've got a long pattern, which makes the ball not want to hook, with a lower volume, which makes the ball want to hook, on a higher friction surface, which makes the ball want to hook. With the ice oil that was used, makes the ball not want to hook. So these players were flummoxed from the beginning. Found a way to put up some big numbers, but as the tournament went on, this pattern got brutal. That's what amazed me. And then, my experience throughout the last month and a half with the tour, it's been a pleasure to be out here with these great athletes and watch them fight through it. Watch so many players deviate from their A game, so to speak, and find success doing it whatever way the pattern and the field dictated they do it. Everything from Dasha's 300 on TV in Louisville to the great TV match finals between Birgit and Shannon in Connecticut. Orlando, what I remember the most there, sitting right next to me, KT, her great performance not only in the main event, but in the regional itself. So I've got a lot of memories that I'm going to take away just from the last month and a half, and I'm looking forward to joining these ladies as they create their own memories in the next couple days here at the Players' Championship, and then moving forward to the Tour Championship in Richmond in a week and a half.
And then finally, just to recap, Sherry Tan will be your number 1 seed. Sherry will be looking for her second career PWBA title. She did win a title in 2016. It was the PWBA Storm Sacramento Open. I mentioned that she has experience in majors. In fact, she's made a couple of TV shows in majors, the Queens and the PWBA Tour Championship. So this will not be unfamiliar territory for Sherry Tan when she hits the TV lights on Sunday. For Shannon Pluhowski, last show she made was late last year, I believe. Columbus lost to Liz Johnson. Liz Johnson actually had the front 9, of course, in the final match. But Shannon is no stranger to TV as well. But I know she'll be the first to tell you it's just about relaxing for her on television. She has gotten there multiple times. Could this be the one for Shannon Pluhowski since the relaunch, looking for her second career PWBA title, lone major, of course, way back 2006 USBC Queens. Well, to go, Liz Johnson, Hall of Famer, 11-1 today, folks. Just today, between the 6 games this morning and the 6 games this afternoon, 11-1 to get to 3rd. Impressive stuff. What else can you say? But important note for Liz Johnson, she could win her 25th career PWBA title, and that would move her up the leaderboard, and she'd be alone with that number, actually, with 25 as well. So a lot on the line in that regard. Dasha Kovalova, already a major champion, making her second major show of the season, looking for her 3rd title of the season as well. So a lot on the line. Not on the line, but more to achieve, potentially to accomplish for Dasha Kovalova. And finally, Shannon O'Keefe, 4 titles already. For all intents and purposes, the 2019 PWBA Player of the Year. She will go back-to-back and join a few players that have done that prior to. Looking for her 5th in 13 events.
You know that math better than I do.
5 titles and 13 events.
Yeah.
It's a 14-event schedule,
okay,
including the Lucy. And, of course, the Tour Championship as well. So what else can you say about that? And, yes, Hosan, thank you very much. That would be Liz's 11th major overall if she does come away with the title. All right, folks, that'll do it for us. I want to thank. Look at Aaron Smith really being the producer and the director today, giving me the wrap-up signal. I wish I'm gonna have to talk to Jasmine about this later on. Aaron being a little bit bossy today.
He has been.
I like it though. I like it because that's not him.
I'm gonna go grab Sherry.
All right, so that'll do it for us, folks. I want to thank Daniel Ferris yet again. Excellent work, my man. Appreciate all of your help filling in for me, as I mentioned before. You're awesome, dude, and we thank you for your contributions. I want to thank my main man, Aaron Smith, doing a ton of stuff behind the scenes. You guys saw him today, giveaways, Bowl with the Pro, not Bowl with the Pro, polls and trivia questions, keeping you guys engaged and interacting with us here on Bowl TV. Want to thank our guests today, Caitlin Simpson, Curtis Von Kruger, and the Rookie of the Year 2019, Valerie Bercier, sitting in game number 6. And yesterday, I want to thank Summer Jasmine. Want to thank Tennille Milligan, Director of Operations here at the PWBA. Want to thank Kathy Watka, keeping our scores and everything straight, and Kathy Kavicki, doing a little bit of everything with our on-site merchandise, masking units, and everything else we need. Much appreciated for their help as well. Want to thank the proprietors here, Buffalo Lanes North, the Buffalo family, Melissa McDaniel, USBC Board of Directors, for all of her work, her staff. They were phenomenal this week. Jonathan at the counter, Stephen, Tyler, everyone who helped us this week. And big thanks to the chiropractor the players were privy to, Dr. Eric J. Asklin of Asklin Chiropractor and Acupuncture. That will do it for us here, folks. For everyone involved, again, my name is Emil Williams Jr. Don't forget the TV show is Sunday, September 8th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the QubicaAMF PWBA Players Championship. And then the next time you'll hear from us on Bowl TV will be the PWBA Tour Championship. I can't wait. We'll be live from Richmond Raceway. Coverage kicks off on Monday, September 16th, culminating with the Wednesday TV show, Wednesday evening at September 18th, I believe at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS Sports Network. As always, we'll be live on Facebook and hopefully Instagram before the show on Sunday. So if you want to hang out with us about 15-20 minutes prior to the show, we'll let you know, or you can tell us who you think is going to win, and we'll give you some insights on what's going on with practice and all that kind of stuff. So for all involved, my name is Emil Williams Jr. I appreciate all of you folks, the viewers, Chris, Hosan, Jasmine, Mrs. Galante, Jennifer, Tabitha, Michelle. Obviously I can't name you all because I love you all and I'm missing people, so I'm just going to stop naming people and just say, hey, thanks everybody for all of your great work today, and Bonnie, as well as you say, great job always as well. All right, for everyone involved, my name is Emil Williams Jr. This has been a presentation of the QubicaAMF PWBA Players Championship. Happy 1 month to my son, Trey, also as well. Love you, kid. Love you, Shanice. You watched it live, and you watched it only on Bowl TV. Good night, folks.